Champ now.
Yes, I didn't say. What are you looking so sad about, Champ?
I'm surprised at you. I mean, I'm really insulted. I mean, that's not right what you just said.
What do you mean? What I just said?
I mean, I'm getting drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talking about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I was on a Formula One tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
When you on the tour.
What's happening, my people? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right. You know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Miss Cass, Mike Mazik, salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Boxtorian. Today, the knockout. Yeah, we got about 25 fights of some brutal, classic, iconic knockouts we're going to cover today. Okay? The knockout. It's Tuesday. It's still early in this week of boxing history. Tomorrow, we are going to look at multiple division world champions. Thursday, the Boxing in the States series continues with Utah. You know, a little brief history of boxing in Utah. Some other significant events concerning boxing that happened in Utah. And of course, some boxers from, no, it was Vermont. Vermont. Utah was last week. Vermont. And some boxers from Vermont. And then Friday, the profile is the Magic Man, Antonio Tarver. Life and career of Antonio Tarver. Coming up this week on Friday for the profile. But today, the boxing in the highlights of boxing history is 10 of the top Australian fighters of all time. 10 of the top Australian fighters of all time. BN Boxing News in the building. Salute BN Boxing News. The knockout today. But first, for the highlights of boxing history segment from 2 to 2:30, 10 of the top Australian fighters of all time. And then at the end of the show, we're going to do a little brief history of boxing in Australia. The last half hour, about 3:30. So let's get into that. The highlights of boxing history. We're going to look at some of these top Australian boxers to start the show off. Okay? Highlights of boxing history. All right. There's a pretty good boxer from Australia right there. Oh, wait a minute. That was supposed to have been Tim Tszyu. Oh, wrong picture. There's Tim. Okay. Let's talk about these boxers from Australia. Get the show started. Ranking the top 10 Australian fighters of all time. Now, there was a time when Konstantin Borisovich Tszyu was the best junior welterweight on the planet. He was born in Russia before immigrating to Australia. He followed up a highly successful amateur career by becoming the leading man in the 140-pound division. For a 14-month spell, the man who went by the name of Kostya Tszyu held the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles. Finished up 31 wins, 2 losses, 25 knockouts. That's 80% knockout ratio for Kostya. Okay? So let's talk about some of these Australian boxers. That's 80.6% knockout ratio for Kostya Tszyu. So let's get into it. Now we got some honorable mentions. They didn't make the top 10. Now Australia has had some wonderful fighters down the years. So some big names we're always going to miss out on the top 10. Young Griffo, Vic Patrick, Ron Richards, and Hector Thompson were all seriously considered for the short list. Barry Michael, who defeated Lester Ellis to become a world champion, was unfortunate to miss out, as too was Jimmy Carruthers. Of the more recent times, Anthony Mundine may very well have earned the spot had he turned to boxing earlier. Still, he deserves great credit for what he has achieved in the ring after his career in rugby ended. Michael Katsidis was a warrior who deserves some recognition, while Daniel Gill has been a world champion at middleweight, and he also came close to making the top 10, but fell a little bit short. Those were the honorable mentions. Now let's talk about the top 10 Australian fighters of all time. Number 10, Dave Sands. Dave Sands. Now, Dave finished his career 87 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw, 52 knockouts. 98 fight career, too short of 100. Now, Dave Sands could well be the greatest Australian boxer who never won a world title. Having started out his career fighting at 131 pounds, the New South Welshman flitted between different divisions in a career that saw him win national titles at middle, light heavy, and heavyweight. However, It was at middleweight where he had hoped to get his shot at a world title. A fight with Sugar Ray Robinson never materialized, so he was in line to face Randolph Turpin for the vacant title, according to the Sport Australia Hall of Fame. Sadly, Sands never got his opportunity. At the age of 26, he died after suffering serious injuries in a car accident. Had his life not been cut short, he may well have been much, much higher on this list. He was still an active boxer when he had that tragic accident, lost his life, 26 years old. Yeah. Dave Sands. Never won a title, but life was cut short at 26. Number 9, Rocky Matthyale. Rocky Matthyale. Mike Grimm. What's up, Mike Grimm? Mike says he's getting ready for spinal surgery tomorrow, but keeping the faith. Yeah, we all will be right there with you tomorrow, Mike. Okay? We are all going to be right there with you, Mike Grimm, tomorrow when you have your surgery. But salute Mike Grimm in the building today. Salute. We are talking about 10 of the top Australian fighters of all time right now, and then we're going to talk about the knockout in about 20 minutes or so. Okay, number 9, Rocky Matthyale on the list of great Australian fighters. Now, he finished his career with 73 fights. He won 64, lost 7. He had 2 draws and 51 knockouts. Not too bad. Probably high 70s knockout ratio. You know I'm finding out. Yeah, 79.6%. Might as well say 80. 79.6, that rounds out to 80. Rocky Matthyale has some pop. Now, Rocky Matthyale is an Italian Australian who became a world champion at junior middleweight. Born in Abruzzo, Italy, Matthyale built his reputation down under before returning to Europe. He became the WBC super welterweight champion in 1977, defeating Eckhard Dage in Germany. He beat the German in Germany. Wow. His career finished with 4 victories in the United States, meaning Matthyale finished with a career knockout ratio of 79.6%. He was inducted into the Australian National Boxing Hall of Fame in 2004. Now, Barry Michaels set up former sparring partner Matthyale per Stati Paxines of the age. Barry Michaels said he was aggressive, super controlled, had good speed and power. He was a pretty complete sort of fighter. He could box a bit as well. And he was a junior middleweight champion in his career. Rocky Matthyale. Number 8, Vic Darkinian. Vic Darkinian. That's Vic Darkinian. Kensaw Love 1 in the building. And Jarrell Hattie. Salute. Okay. The knockout today, but now we looking at 10 of the top 10 Australian fighters of all time. Every day, 2 to 2:30, we're going to pick a different country and look at 10 of the top fighters from that country. Today is Australia. Then at the end of the show, we're going to look at a little history of boxing in that same country, which is Australia. So where are we? Vic Darkinian is number 8. But salute Kensaw Love 1 and Jarrell Hattie. Vic Darkinian. Now, Vic had 49 fights in his career. He won 40, lost 8, 1 draw, 29 knockouts. Now, like Costa Tszyu, Vic Darkinian was born abroad, but moved to Australia to further his boxing career. Now, the Raging Bull, that's what he called him. He competed for his native Armenia at the 2000 Olympics, but turned pro later the same year at flyweight in Sydney, Australia. He won his first world title in 2004 at the 112-pound limit, flyweight, holding the IBF Virgin for nearly 3 years before suffering a first career loss when he lost to Nonito Donaire, Filipino Flash. They ain't a bad person to take your first loss to. Now, Darkinian went on to become a world champion at super flyweight and bantamweight, 3-division champion, though a major belt at featherweight eluded him. But he was a 3-division champion, okay? Now, while he now resides in the United States, Darkinian was given Australian citizenship in 2004. Okay, that makes him eligible for this list. Number 7, Lee Darcy. Lee Darcy. There's Lee Darcy. Okay. Lee had 50 fights in his career, won 46, lost 4, had 29 knockouts. Now, Lee Darcy was so good that he just so happened to be Australia's heavyweight champion at the same time as he held a world title at middleweight. He was the Australia's heavyweight champion and the world middleweight champion. Wow, where they do that at? Now, the Maitland Wonder had a short but successful career. He died at the age of 21 from pneumonia, by which time he had moved to the United States. Still, Darcy achieved plenty during his career. In his last ever fight, he knocked out George Chick in Sydney, Australia, to retain the world middleweight title. He had signed up for active service in World War I, but was spared going into battle when his mother claimed he was still a minor, according to Boxrac's biography of the fighter. Now, like Sands, his final position in the rankings could have been closer to the top had it not been for his early death. Yep, died at 21. Wow. Number 6 is Jeff Hardy. One of the bigger names to come out of Australia, Jeff Hardy. Yeah, there's Jeff. Yeah, on the left there, and on the left and the right. Jeff Hardy. Now, Jeff had 25 fights, 23 wins, 2 losses, 17 knockouts. Okay. Let's see. 17 knockouts and 23 wins. That'll be 70-something. 73.9. Not a whole lot of fights. 73.9. Only 6 people went the distance with him, though, not bad. Jeff Hitman Hardy battled opponents in the ring, as well as his demons out of it. The light heavyweight stunned the boxing world when he knocked out Dennis Andres in the 12th and final round in 1989 to claim the WBC title. It was the first time he had ever been beyond 10 rounds in his career. Now, Andres claimed his title back the following year, but Harding won their 3rd and final meeting in 1991, this time by way of a majority decision, to become WBC champion once again. Now, he fought just 3 more times in his career, losing the belt to Mike McCallum in 1994 in what proved to be his final fight. Harding has been fighting since, battling an alcohol addiction. He told David Barnett of the Daily Telegraph, it was a Las Vegas lifestyle. There was lots of money, lots of people showing you around, but at the end of the day, it's just expensive. Everyone wants to buy you a drink when you're the champion. Top 5. Number 5, Lester Ellis. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing now. This was a while back. Lester Ellis. Look at his addiction now. Lester Ellis. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. What's up, Bruce Gas? How are you today? Kensaw Love, 1. Putting color in the chat. Appreciate you, Kensaw Love, 1. 1000% for the color in the chat. Appreciate you, Ken Up one. And salute Bruce Gas. The knockout today. Lester Ellis, number 5. Now Lester Ellis, 41-8 with 28 knockouts. Lester Ellis was born in Blackpool, England, but moved to Australia when he was just 3 years old. He impressed as an amateur and made quick progress through the pro ranks, winning the Commonwealth Super Featherweight title on the way to a world title shot at the age of just 19. Master Blaster, that was his name, Master Blaster. That's what they called him in the ring. He duly defeated Hawan Kilya to become the IBF champion, a crown he defended once before losing it to former training partner, Barry Michael. Ellis moved up through the divisions, winning belts, including jumping from lightweight to junior middleweight in 1995 to become the IBO champion. Now, Ellis retired after loss to Calvin Grove in 1996, but was tempted to return in 2002 at the age of 37. He was stopped by fellow Australian Anthony Mundine inside 3 rounds. And then he got back out of boxing. That was his final fight right there. Probably should have stayed out, but hey, he made some money. Number 4, Jeff Fenech. Jeff Fenech. Wind it down there. There's Jeff. Jeff Fenech is number 4. He had 33 fights, won 29, only 3 losses, 1 draw. Now, Jeff Fenech was a 3-weight world champion who became a national hero for his exploits in the ring. He won the IBF title at bantamweight in just his 7th pro fight, beating Satoshi Shingaki. And he held the strap until moving up in weight. Didn't lose it in the ring, vacated. And they called him the Merrickville Mauler. He was also crowned a world champion at super bantamweight and featherweight, winning 25 fights in a row till he had a draw. The first of 3 fights against Azuma Nelson. He had a draw in the first fight. And him and Nelson met again the following year, when Nelson stunned the Melbourne crowd by stopping Fenech in the 8th round. It was in Australia, yeah. The Ring magazine voted the result, the upset of the year in 1992, right? And then when he lost to Philip Holliday in a failed bid to become a world champion at lightweight, Fenech decided to retire. He was, however, coached back into the ring in 2008 for a grudge match against Azuma Nelson. With the pair both well into their 40s by that time, Fenech won the 10-rounder by majority decision on the scorecards. The New South Welshman, who had a brief stint as Mike Tyson's trainer, was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2002. Jeff Fenech. Number 3, Johnny Famechon. There's Johnny. Sorry, Johnny, if I pronounced your name wrong. But Johnny had 67 fights. He won 56, lost 5, had 6 draws, and he had 20 knockouts in his career. What's up, Al Booger in the building? Looking at the top 10 Australians right quick, Al Booger. We only got 3 more, then we're going to talk about the knockouts. I got 25 knockouts we're going to talk about today from over the years. We've talked about some of them before, but hey, we're going to talk about them a little bit more today. Okay, got some new ones too. But Johnny Famechon. Now, Johnny was born in Paris, France, but moved to Australia when he was young. His family had a background in boxing. Johnny's father had been French lightweight champion, and Johnny followed the same path. Now, he was famed for his defensive abilities. He became Australian, Commonwealth, and world champion at featherweight. He defeated Jose Legua in 1969 to claim the WBC title, successfully defending it twice in 2 classic fights against the Fighting Geraldo, before then losing to Vicente Saldivar in what turned out to be his final fight. Jeff Finnick told Grantley Chiesa of the Queensland Sunday Mail, the skills, the speed, the class, Johnny Famachon was an artist. Okay, at number 2, Lionel Rose. Lionel Rose, number 2 of the top 10 Australian fighters of all time. Lionel had 65 fights during his career. He won 42, lost 11, had 12 knockouts. Now, Lionel Rose was the first Lionel Rose was the first indigenous Australian to win a world title, right? The bantamweight picked up the WBA and WBC belts when he defeated Fighting Geraldo on points in 1968. He had begun his career at the age of 16, and after initially retiring following a failure to beat Yoshiaki Numata for the WBC super featherweight crown, he made a brief comeback in 1975. Now, his return proved unsuccessful. Rose lost 4 of his next 6 fights before hanging up his gloves for good. Hung him up early, but he still had all those fights. Now, those late defeats spoiled his final record slightly, but did not tarnish what he had achieved during his prime. Now, Rose, who enjoyed a brief singing career in the 1970s, passed away in 2011. A statue has been erected in his honor in his hometown, Warragul, Australia. And the number 1 Australian fighter of all times, the great Kostya Tszyu. Kostya Tszyu. Kostya had 33 fights in his career, 31-2, 25 knockouts, 89.6% knockout ratio. They called Kostya the Thunder Down Under. Competed for the Soviet Union as an amateur, but immigrated to Australia in 1992 and turned pro that same year. He became a world champion for the first time in 1995 when he stopped Jake Rodriguez. His reign and unbeaten record ended at the hands of Vince Phillips, though Tszyu recovered quickly from that loss. He survived 2 early trips to the canvas against Diosmedes Hurtado to become the interim WBC champion in 1998, and from then on produced a string of impressive results that included victories over Julio Cesar Chavez, Zab Judah, Jesse James Legion, and Shamba Mitchell twice. Those some big names back there around the 90s, boy. Yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez, Zab Judah, Jesse James Legion, and Shamba Mitchell twice. Beat Shamba twice. However, the end of the line for the heavy-handed Tszyu came with a defeat to Ricky Hatton in Manchester, England in 2005. Yeah, I remember that one. Now, there's been the odd threat of a comeback. There was the odd threat of a comeback at one time, but Tszyu insisted the urge to step back inside the ring. Now, Hatton later told Michael Rosenthal of the Ring magazine, "I hit Tszyu with some good shots, and he stayed in there. In the end, I had to put out quite an effort to take him down." So there you have it, the top 10 Australian fighters of all time. Now let's look at some of the knockout. Okay, the knockout. That's what we're doing today. The knockout. Okay, let me get situated here. Something ain't right. Oh yeah, everything is right. How's everybody today? We're still early in this big week of boxing history. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're gonna have look at some multiple division champions. Thursday, boxing in the state series continues with Vermont. Yeah, we're gonna look at a little history. some other significant events that occurred concerning boxing in Vermont, and we're gonna look at some boxers from Vermont tomorrow. Okay, we got 6 more states to go, 6 more weeks. So we'll probably late May, early June, we'll be done with it. We gotta come up with something else then. But I hope everybody that enjoyed the boxing in the States, because I done learned a few things myself about boxing in these states since I've been doing that series that I didn't know, you know? So yeah. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We still got 6 weeks to go though, 6 more states to go. Okay, it ain't over. Okay, let's talk. The knockout. That's what we're doing today. Got some great, iconic, brutal knockouts in here. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going up and down. Oh shit! Excuse me, language. I was trying to go up. I'm all the way at the top of the page. No wonder it wouldn't go up. I do that all the time. I'm at the top. Cass, it ain't going up no further. Right? If you're at the top. Don't let me come back down. But we're gonna do the knockout sometime today. Right there. Here we go. There we go. I'm where I want to be. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. All right. Yeah, I shouted out Bruce Gas, Al Booger came in. We got Mike Mazik, BN Boxing News, Mike Rem, Ken Saw Love 1, Jarrell Hattie, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more, and Al Booger. Appreciate y'all 1,000%. Let's get started. The knockout. Okay. That's Canelo when he stretched Amir Khan out. See Amir there? Wow. Amir is out. How they say it? Out like a light. Amir Khan had no business going up there messing with Canelo. He wasn't doing bad at first when he was, you know, but he got caught. Yeah. Amir got caught. And that was the result of it right there. Remember that, y'all? Canelo stretched him out. The knockout. Now, boxing is, let me turn this light on. Now, boxing is called the sweet science. And there are many fans who will watch simply to see 2 master craftsmen engage in a chess match. But that isn't what today's show is about. We're talking knockouts today. They are what makes the sport of boxing so dramatic and unique. Few things in all of sports are as electrifying as a one-punch knockout, right? Boxing is the only sport where you can lose literally every second of every round and still hit that 10-run home run in the final seconds and win the fight. It's the only sport where a massive underdog can be getting totally dominated and in an instant change the course of the entire fight with one punch. Boxing is the only sport like that. Boxing is a beautiful yet extremely violent sport. It is celebrated when one fighter turns the lights out of another. It is fun to watch a long touchdown pass in football or a kickoff returner take it to the house, right? And it is exciting to see a walk-off home run or a basketball buzzer beater from the three-point line that wins the game. But what trumps all athletic finishes is a one-hitter quitter in the sport of boxing. Trumps all that, a one-hitter quitter. Trumps that walk-off home run, the three-point buzzer beater, the guy taking it to the house in football. None of that is more exciting than a one-hitter quitter that ends the fight, okay? So let's talk about some of the most incredible knockouts in boxing history, okay? Let's talk about some of the most incredible knockouts in boxing history. After I take a drink. But the first one is Sergio Martinez, second round knockout of Paul Williams. There you go, catching Paul with the knockout punch right there. Like an overhand left, right? Sergio was a little shorter than Paul, but yeah, that's an overhand left, I would say. This fight was on November 20th, 2010. November 20th, 2010. Okay. I hope this thing Wi-Fi don't act up today. I should have never mentioned it. November 20th, 2010. Now, the previous December, these two southpaws had given fans 12 rounds of exciting action in a fight of the year candidate, with Williams taking a close point to win. So if you had wanted to wager that either, let alone Martinez, would win the rematch by a stunning one-hitter-quitter knockout in just the second round, you would have had people lining up to take your money from you. But, in fact, you would have been the one adding to your bank account after Martinez caught Williams with a perfectly timed overhand left that detonated on Williams' jaw and knocked him out cold, his eyes wide open as he lay unconscious on the canvas. That Williams had never been stopped before in his career, but he did not move a muscle as he was counted out. It was a stunning outcome. Stunning, yeah, I remember that one. And it was stunning. That was the knockout of the year for 2010, remember? Mm-hmm. Couldn't be nothing else but that one. They had fought 12-round sweet science type technical match earlier the year before, right? I believe it was. And nobody expected that either one of them to score, but we thought we were going to see another sweet science type fight, but Sergio got that overhand right in that second round. There it is. And Williams went out. It's like Canelo had Amir Khan. Martinez had Williams out like a light. Okay, the next one is Hasim Rahman, 5th round KO of Lennox Lewis, April 22nd, 2001. There you go. I don't think that's the knockout punch right there, but yeah, Rahman got him up out of there. Lewis won the rematch. Lewis wanted to beat everybody he ever was in the ring with, so he had a couple losses, but he rematched and won everybody that ever beat him. Yeah. Okay. April 22nd, 2001, when this fight was occurred. Now, Rahman was a 15-1 underdog coming into this fight, right? When he faced Lewis in South Africa. But he didn't look like one, as he gave as good as he got throughout the 4 rounds, right? First 4 rounds. Then, in the 5th round, he backed Lewis to the ropes, feinted, and then unleashed a right hand that toppled Lewis and relieved him of his World Heavyweight Championship belt. Yep, one shot. The belt was gone. But they did have a rematch in Lewis. I believe he stopped Rahman in the rematch. Yeah. I saw we get rid of the music. Stop. Let me stop worrying about that. Okay. Next one, we go way back. James J. Jeffries, 23rd round knockout of James Corbett. Yeah, 23rd round knockout. May 11th, 1900. That's James J. Jeffries right there. Yeah. Now, yeah, I couldn't find one of them together. Old picture. I found one, but it was so old and faded. I said, nah. Okay. So we just got James J. Jeffries, since he was the winner, right? Everyone loves an underdog, especially a former champion who unexpectedly summons up some of his past glory. Now, Corbett had been written off by most after his losses to Bob Fitzsimmons and Tom Sharkey. But for 22 rounds, and to the delight of the assembled spectators, he gave the Hawking Jeffries a boxing lesson. and appeared on his way to an historic victory. But a single right to the jaw knocked Corbett unconscious in round 23 and silenced the crowd. There was another one-hitter quitter. He was given as good as he got for 22 rounds, but in that 23rd round, a single right hand put him out and silenced the crowd. The crowd was behind him, but single right hand from Jeffries ended the fight. Okay, Julian Jackson, 4th round knockout of Harold Graham. This occurred on November 24th, 1990. Julian Jackson and Harold Graham. There's Graham on the way down. 1990. Jackson has some pop too. One of the top, you don't hear a lot about Jackson, very underrated puncher, but one of the top punchers of all time. You know, he's on that list with the Ring Magazine, the 50 or the 80 greatest punchers of all time. Whatever it is, Jackson's on that list. Yeah, very underrated puncher. Now, one of the most brutal one-punch knockouts ever. Won Lead-Fisted Jackson his 2nd divisional title and further cemented his reputation as an all-time great puncher. Now, the favorite Graham had dominated the first 3 rounds to such an extent that Jackson's eyes were swelling shut. And after the 3rd round, the ringside doctor informed Jackson that he would soon have no choice but to stop the fight, right? That's how bad Graham was beating Jackson. The doctor was telling him he was getting ready to stop it and give it to Graham. But the one-sided boxing lesson continued in round 4 before Jackson suddenly struck with a vicious right hook that instantly knocked Graham out cold. There it is right there. Knocked him out cold. See, he's already sleeping before he goes to the mat. Like he's already asleep before he hit the mat. Al Booker says, I got the Hawk somewhere in the top 5 punches. Yeah, the Hawk, yeah, he's up there, Al Booker. Good point. For sure. For sure. I really had never looked at that list. I always just look at like single boxes when they mention this box is this number, this box is that number. But I never actually looked at the whole entire list. I'll have to look at it one day. Yeah. Now the next one is everybody remember this one. Antonio Tarver's 2nd round knockout of Roy Jones Jr. And by the way, the Magic Man is the profile Friday. Antonio Tarver. Life and career of Antonio Tarver coming up Friday. Yeah. Yeah. That's not the punch he knocked Roy out with. It was a left. But yeah, this might be the other fight. But it happened on May 15th, 2004. Antonio Tarver's 2nd round knockout of Roy Jones Jr. Now, for years, a very cocky Roy Jones Jr. appeared unbeatable. Then, very suddenly, he wasn't. He had never been seriously hurt, let alone stopped. And his lone defeat up to this point was by disqualification. Remember, he hit, forgot the guy's name when he was down. Forgot the guy's name. He had the last name of a famous singer. Remember the guy? Anybody know it? Roy hit him while it was down. Then he had the rematch and Roy knocked him out. He had the immediate rematch. Roy knocked him out in the 1st round. But yeah, that was his only loss up to that point, that disqualification. Now, scores of fans regarded Roy as a modern great whose name could be uttered in the same breath as that of Willie Pep or Sugar Ray Robinson. So imagine the shock when they saw a single left hook from underdog Antonio Tarver in their fight in only the 2nd round. Yeah, only the 2nd round he caught Roy with that left hook and put him down for the count. Yeah. Anybody remember that guy that Roy got the disqualification against? He hit him when he was down. Then they had the immediate rematch and Roy knocked him out in the 1st round. Yeah, that was his only loss for a long time. Only loss he had in the 90s, remember? I can't remember his name. I'm getting ready to reach for the phone and Google it, but no. We're in the middle of the show. That bothers me when I can't figure out something. But yeah, that was his only loss up to that point before Tarver knocked him out. Okay, the next one was Big Mike Weaver, 15-round knockout of Big John Tate. Yeah, two big boys. Yeah, there's Big John Tate on the mat. 15 rounds. And John Tate, if he could have got through this fight with a win, he was getting ready to get the big Muhammad Ali payday. Because, you know, Muhammad Ali was like the cash cow then. Like, everybody wanted to have Muhammad Ali fight because you was going to get paid, right? But Big John Tate was in line next. All he had to do was beat Mike Weaver, but he couldn't do it. Yeah, Bruce Gass, remember that? Yeah. Big John was next up for Ali, but he got upset. Well, not really upset, but he got beat by Mike Weaver. The Boxing Menu Podcast Plus in the building. What's up, the Boxing Menu Podcast Plus? How are you today, bro? We are talking about some knockouts today. Some one-hitter quitters. You know, the most exciting thing in sports, a one-hitter quitter. You know, nothing tops that. Nothing. It's like I was saying, you know, you could be in the 12th round and lost every round. And that one-hitter quitter, you still got a chance to win. No other sport is like that. You losing 35-0 in the fourth quarter in football, you ain't winning. But in boxing, you can lose all the first 11 rounds. Come out there to get that one-hitter quitter in that 12th round and still win. No other sport is like boxing. That's why I call it the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. But the next one is, Big Mike Weaver, 15-round knockout of Big John Tate. Okay, this happened on March 31st, 1980. Let's salute the Boxing Menu Podcast Plus. Fire channel. Everybody here has probably subscribed to him already, but if not, get over there, subscribe to the brother. And Bruce Gass. And then BN Boxing News. Yeah. Oh, great. Fire channel. Okay. Now this Mike Weaver and John Tate. The knockout wins don't come more dramatic than this one. Tate may have been a paper champion, but he was highly regarded by many and was being groomed for a big money fight against ex-champion Muhammad Ali, right? All he had to do was get by Weaver, a journeyman with 9 losses on his record. Now, for 4 rounds, Tate dominated the challenger, but in the 15th, a desperate Weaver got home the biggest punch of his career, a left hook that put Tate to sleep. That single hook changed completely the lives of both men. Now, Weaver remained a force in the heavyweight division for years to come, while Tate quickly faded away. Yeah, after that fight, both of those guys went in different directions, man. Weaver's career took off from there, and Tate just faded on out, fizzled on out, like fizzled on out. And he would have a big fight with Muhammad Ali in the works. All he had to do was get past Weaver. That's how one punch can change your entire career in boxing. Just one punch, man, can change everything. That was a perfect example of it. Yeah. Weaver was a journeyman with 9 losses. And after that fight, his career took off, and Tate was the big name, getting ready to fight Muhammad Ali. He fizzled on out. Next one is go back away, way back a ways again. This is Jersey Joe Walcott, 7th round knockout over Ezzard Charles, July 18th, 1951. Okay, I wasn't even born yet. It is Ezzard and Jersey Joe. Ezzard on the left, Jersey Joe on the right. July 18th, 1951. Now in this, his record, 5th attempt at the heavyweight crown. 5th time he was trying to win the title. Walcott was a 9-1 underdog coming in. Not to mention, the oldest challenger ever for the title. Yep, the oldest man that ever challenged for the title at that point. I think he was like 37, 38 by then. Now, 2 previous meetings between Charles and Walcott had been decided by the scorecards. But this time, Jersey Joe abruptly landed a massive left hook in round 7 that put the great Cincinnati Cobra down for the count. A single perfect shot earned Walcott the title after a 15-year career of chasing it. Yep, he finally got the title. I think he was like 37 years old. His 5th title shot. Yep. And a left hook. And the 5th, a left hook in the 7th round got it for him. Jersey Joe Walcott. And then we're going to have to fight and hit that lost it for him too, coming up. Yeah. Juan Manuel Marquez, 6th round knockout of Manny Pacquiao. I gotta hear that one. Yeah. There's again Manny, another one out like a light, face first, not moving. Wife in the audience bawling like a little baby. Yeah, that was, I saw that too. Yeah. Manny did that his, that move he got, that double jab, feint 2 jabs, right? And feinted with the 2nd jab, and Marquez is up under and came over the top of that overhand right, vavoom. Like that. Vavoom. Vavoom. And that's where Manny ended up. Like that. Yeah. Like that. And this was December 8th, 2012. And this fight occurred. Now, did the 5th greatest one-punch knockout of all time really happen as recently as 2012? Yeah, that's only what, like 13 years ago? Yes, it did. When a single blow completely alters the careers and legacies of 2 of the best boxers of recent decades, and also realign the dynamic of one of boxing's most significant rivalries. Pacquiao boasted an excellent chin, and Marquez appeared to be taking the worst of things between the 2 fighters, when a big Marquez right hand ended the fight in the 6th round. Yeah, I mean, it was a big Marquez right hand too. Yeah. And Manny was controlling things up to that point. I think the 5th round or early in the 6th round, he really dominated Marquez. Almost had him hurt. Yeah. And Marquez just got that one shot in, that overhand right. And that was all she wrote. Okay. The next one is, this was the perfect punch. Sugar Ray Robinson, 5th round knockout of Gene Fullmer, May 1st, 1957. The perfect punch. I had Manny and Marquez on there twice. Yeah, this is what we're talking about now, the perfect punch. That's what they called it. There's Foreman. He ain't getting up. He ain't out like a light, but he ain't getting up either. Okay. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T. Hill? The legendary Thomas Hill. That he is. Yeah, we're talking about the knockout today, T. Hill. I had 25 of the best one-hitter quitters you will see. The one-hitter, the Boxing Magic Podcast Plus, it's time for the smelly salt. The one-hitter quitter is the best thing in sports. Most exciting occurrence in sports. Like I was saying earlier, better than the walk-off home run, the football player taking it to the house, or the 3-point buzzer beater in basketball. Nothing beats a one-hitter quitter. Because, like, you could be losing all lost all 11 rounds. They come out there in the 12th round and win the fight with that one-hitter quitter, you know? But Sugar Ray Robinson, 5th round knockout over Gene Fullmer, May 1st, 1957. 1957. Now, Gene Fullmer was without question one of the toughest boxers of all time. Yeah, Gene was tough. So was his brother Don Fullmer. We covered them last week when we did Utah. Remember, they was from Utah. Boxing in the States last Thursday, the Fullmer brothers. Actually, I think it was 5 of them, right? But Gene and Don were the most famous of the two, both made to the programs. Yeah, Gene was one of the toughest fighters of all time, though. He only took a 10 count once in his career. It happened after the great Sugar Ray Robinson landed his famous perfect punch, right? Now, Robinson had lost to Fullmer a few months earlier, and it was looking like the rematch might have a similar result until Sugar Ray landed a deadly left hook that ended the fight in round 5. Yeah, you had lost to Gene a few months before that. Fullmer had beat him, and Fullmer wasn't doing too bad in this fight. And then Sugar Ray landed that perfect punch, that deadly left hook. Because Sugar Ray had, with all his other talents, he also had 109. He's a member of the 100 Knockout Club, 109 knockouts. Everything else this man did well, 109 knockouts too. That's incredible. And freaking incredible, man. No wonder he's Mr. Pound for Pound. Okay, this is one I was talking about when Jersey Joe finally got that championship from Ezra Charles in his 5th try. This is when he lost it. This is when he lost it. He ran into Susie Q. See? Susie Q just struck. See Susie Q, see the follow through? Yeah. Rocky Marciano, 13th round knockout of Jersey Joe Walcott. September 23rd, 1952. Now this is the perfect example of you can be losing out of the fight and then one hit a quitter. Because Rocky needed a knockout at that point. Jersey Joe had to fight one. All he had to do was make it through to the end of the 15th round. Perfect example. No other sport is like this. Like I said, you're losing 45-0 in the 4th quarter in football, you ain't winning, okay? But boxing, you can, in the 13th round, you can be losing the fight and need that knockout. You still got a chance, and that's what happened. And this was for the world title. Susie Q got home in the 13th round. Let's talk about it. Now, Jersey Joe said before this fight, if I lose to Marciano, take my name out of the record books, right? That's what he said before the fight. He called Marciano a clumsy amateur. And showing their lack of respect throughout the fight, Jersey Joe curved his left hand dangerously low. Curved it dangerously low, right? And you see what side that hook that Susie Q came from, hitting right over across above that left hand, right? Throughout the fight, showing disrespect for Rocky, curved his left hand dangerously low, daring Rocky to catch him with a big shot. Now, far behind on points in a grueling battle, needing a knockout, Rocky finally got that big shot home, slugging Walcott with a perfectly timed right hand that instantly put the defending champion into unconsciousness for like 5 minutes. Okay, he was out for like 5 minutes. He's already sleeping before he even hit the mat. But he's going down. That's it. You know, stick a fork in Jersey Joe right there, it's over. Just follow through on Susie Q. That's the kind of punch you feel all the way up to your elbows, man. You ever hit somebody and feel it all the way up to your elbows? That was one like that right there. And Jersey Joe is out like a light before he even get to the mat. Yeah. Yeah, but that was one of the big ones there. When Rocky knocked Jersey Joe out in the 13th round, September 23rd, 1952. Yeah, the knockout. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Mark. Yeah, you missed that one, T. Hill. Was you here for that? We just talked about that. Oh, Lord. T.O., you made me mess my pictures up. I was trying to go back. I'm just messing with you, T.O. Yeah, T.O., I think we're talking about this one, right? Wait a minute. Yeah. T.O., you talking about that one, right? Yeah, Manny probably was dreaming and stuff. You know? T.O., you was in here for that. We just did it. Okay, but that was Jersey Joe, Rocky Marciano with a 13-round knockout over Jersey Joe Walcott. Okay. Now this one hurt me to my heart here. This next one. Oh, that's not the one. Damn. I'm out of order. Not really. Just one gets out of order. But I'm gonna find it. There it is right there. This hurt me to my heart, man. I don't know what was worse. The No Moss against Sugar Ray or the beat down the Hearns. I was bragging on Duran so bad after he beat Sugar Ray the first time after the No Moss fight. Everybody started calling me No Moss, man. Is that it? Hearns and Duran? Yeah. Next is that's not even next. What am I doing? Bear with me for a second, please. Yeah, this is where I'm at right here. Yeah. Robert, way back. Robert Fitz, 14th round knockout over James Corbett. March 17th, 1897. And remember, I always tell y'all about when Roy Jones was the first man in 100 years to go from middleweight to heavyweight. This was the other one right here, Robert Fitzsimmons, 1897, when he beat James Corbett, 14th round knockout. Yeah, he was the first middleweight to win the heavyweight championship, right? Yeah, that's how it was, T.O. Yeah. Yeah, that's them right there. Robert Fitzsimmons knocked out James Corbett in the 14th round. March 17th, 1897. I can't believe it's 3 o'clock already. I've only been on here for 10 minutes. Now, they say a good big man always beats a good small man. But when middleweight champion Fitzsimmons challenged Corbett for the heavyweight title, the unexpected happened in a very unexpected way. By round 14, Corbett appeared headed to a one-sided points win. He had largely controlled the fight and had come close to stopping Fitzsimmons. But suddenly, out of nowhere, Fitzsimmons landed a body shot that put Corbett on the canvas, writhing in agony. And he was counted out. It was a liver shot, giving Fitzsimmons a 14th round knockout. And that was the first time a middleweight champion won the heavyweight title. And it was 100 years later when Roy Jones did it, remember? Yeah. But yeah, he got him with the body shot. Fitzsimmons did. I'm still in order. I don't know what I was doing. I thought I was with Thomas Hearns and Roberto Duran. I started not even put that one on here. Yeah. That was bad. Okay. George Foreman, 10th round knockout over Michael Moorer. Yeah. Yeah, Moorer is dreaming too. Probably dreaming about his wife or somebody. I don't know. He's dreaming though. Look at it. Yeah. Both feet going in different directions. Yeah, Big George caught him. George Foreman, 10th round knockout of Michael Moorer. November 5th, 1994, and George made history. He became the oldest man to ever win the heavyweight title. It was the longest period in between one fighter winning the heavyweight title, 20 years, because he lost it in 74 to Ali, remember? 20 years later, longest period in between one man winning the title. And it was the biggest age differential between two fighters in a heavyweight fight. Moorer was 19 years younger than Foreman. I think Moorer was about 26. Foreman was 45, but it was 19 years in between them. So there was 3 records broken in that fight. But 2 full decades after losing the heavyweight title to Muhammad Ali, 45, Moorer was 26. 45-year-old George Foreman landed a historic right hand to become the oldest fighter to ever win the heavyweight championship. He still is to this day. He was the oldest fighter to win a championship in boxing until B-Hop broke it, but he's still the oldest heavyweight champion. Now, far behind on the card and minutes away from defeat and likely the end of his career, Big George finally got a right cross home that crashed on Namora's chin in round 10 and put him down for the count. The win elevated Big George from an exceptional heavyweight to a boxing icon. Yeah, that fight right there did it. Big George became an icon after that. Yes. Big George Foreman. Oh, it says I was here, but in context of all time and how they shaped the sport. Those are the that was a big one, Marquez and Manny. Yes, it was, TL. Yeah, that was a huge one. And Manny was dominating the fight, controlling the fight, when that happened. Yeah. I think he had hurt Marquez earlier in that very round. It was round 6. I think he had Marquez on the road to some trouble, either late in the 5th round or earlier that same round. And Marquez came back. He went over the top of one of Manny's right jab feints with that overhand right. And he said, "Vavoom." And that was it. Okay, but next, Samuel Peter, second round knockout of Jeremy Williams, December 4th, 2004. Yeah, I'm in order. That's Jeremy Williams. The referee's rattling and taking his mouthpiece out or something. The doctor and everybody should be in there by then. They should be bringing the stretcher. Abeles should be pulling up to the back door because he looks like he in a bit of trouble. I don't mean to laugh, but damn. Seriously, the doctor should be in there by then. That man needs to be checked out. But yeah, that was the work of Samuel Peter, second round. Samuel Peter burst on the heavyweight scene with 18 knockouts in his first 20 fights. Many felt he could be the next big thing in boxing, in the glamour division, right? Heavyweight. Now, while it didn't pan out that way, Peter was known for some of the spectacular knockouts that he had. In 2004, he took on fringe contender, heavyweight Jeremy Williams. Now, after a relatively uneventful first round, Peter came out swinging for the fences in the second round. Williams got caught with an earth-shattering left hand that ended the fight on the spot, right? Second round. Yeah, this is what I was talking about coming up now. Yeah. Defiant Arnie One in the building. What's up, Defiant Arnie One? How are you today? The Knockout. Yeah, we talked about some of the best one-hitter quitters of all time. And that guy right there, that's Jeremy Williams. That was the result of a one-hitter quitter from Samuel Peter. Yeah, this was the next one. This hurt me to my heart when this happened, man. Yeah. The Hands of Stone. I can't even say my Hands of Stone right. The Hands of Stone there's the Hands of Stone. Yep, that's him on the mat. Thomas Hearns, second round knockout of Roberto Duran, June 15th, 1984. Hearns did him bad, man. Now, what an era of fighters and fighting, right? This was 1984. What an era of fighters and fighting this period was. Nowadays, fans complain about the biggest stars in the sport not fighting each other. But in the era of fighters like Thomas Hearns and Roberto Duran, they all fought each other. Now, every fight wasn't a big fight like that. That's not what I'm saying, but you consistently got big fights, right? They all fought each other. Hearns and Duran met at 154 pounds, where they both held titles in 1984. Duran was known as a pressure fighter with high activity and good boxing skills, who had great punching power, but there was nothing he could do against Hearns, man. Hearns got an 80-something reach He had like a 9-inch reach advantage, like a 6-inch height advantage. Durant had to get inside and look what he had to go through, man. One of the best jabs ever in boxing and one of the most vicious right hands ever. So anybody would have ended up like that, man. I mean, with the size disadvantages Roberto was going up against, you know. I don't know. I'm just trying to make excuses. But anyway, Hearns was a prototypical boxer puncher with great power in both hands and known for his exceptional jab. Yeah, if they, like I said, they're going to create the perfect fight, it would be Sugar Ray. If scientists was going to create the perfect boxer puncher, it would be Thomas Hearns. Now, their fight only lasted 2 rounds, but it was a dynamite ending. Hearns exhibited awesome power in this fight, ending it by dropping Durant flat on his face. Yeah, that was the result of it. Hearns looked like he want to come back and give him some more. The man is out. Hearns, back off. Ain't nothing else you can do to him. Then that was the hands of stone. Okay, next. Let me get off of that. That was bad. I don't know what was worse, that one or the No Moss fight. Mike Tyson. First round knockout, Michael Spinks. The 91-second fight. There's Spinks. See? Yeah, we seen a lot of naps today. Wow. This was on June 27th, 1988. Okay? Now, can you imagine being one of the unlucky people who paid for this fight on pay-per-view only to get up from their couch to get a drink or go to the bathroom, came back, and the fight was over? Yeah, that's how quick it was, man. Came back and the fight was over. Michael Spinks shocked the world when he moved from light heavyweight to heavyweight, right? To challenge Larry Holmes, dropping his undisputed light heavyweight title. Now he shocked the world even more by beating Holmes in back-to-back fights, setting up this showdown against Iron Mike Tyson, okay? He never beat Holmes in the first place. But anyway, yeah, the judges gave it to him, so that set up this fight with Tyson. Now, Spinks and Tyson met in 1988 for one of the most hyped heavyweight title fights in history. And that's all it was, hype. Okay, that's all it was, hype. Tyson was all over Spinks immediately. And he dropped him 2 times in the opening minute, right? Opening minute and 30 seconds of the fight, Spinks was down twice. He was counted out after the second knockdown, and the fight ended just 91 seconds after it started. So those unlucky people that got up to go to the bathroom or went to get a drink or something, came back, they saw Don King standing up there in the ring, right? And everybody else, the ring announcer, it was over. Spinks might have been still like that, because he was like that for a minute. That was another one. One hitter quitter. Well, no, that was a combination of punches. That wasn't a one hitter quitter there. Mike almost ran from his corner and was on him immediately. 91 seconds. Okay, next. Julio Cesar Chavez, 12th round TKO of Meldrick Taylor. The Richard Steele fight. March 17th, 1990. Richard Steele's one or 2 second stoppage, remember? Al Booker remember that one. Now, Julio Cesar Chavez entered this fight against Meldrick Taylor on a 68-fight winning streak, having never lost professionally. But he needed a miracle to win number 69, and that miracle was Richard Steele. Entering the 12th and final round, Chavez desperately needed a knockout. Taylor had leads on 2 of the 3 scorecards, insurmountable leads on 2 of the 3 scorecards. That's all he needed. The majority, 2 out of 3, had insurmountable leads on 2 of them, right? All they had to do was make it to the final bell. But in the closing seconds of the 12th and final round, Chavez found that miracle. He dropped Taylor to the mat with a huge right hand, but Taylor was on his feet by the count of 6. But here come Richard Steele, deciding he was unresponsive, and he stopped the fight with 2 seconds left in the contest, giving Chavez one of the most controversial and incredible stoppages in the history of boxing. And I wonder how much was in the envelope Richard Steele got after that fight. I bet that envelope was fat, man, full of $100 bills. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that envelope was fat. He probably couldn't even get it in his pocket. He had to have a briefcase for that envelope he got. Okay, but like Al Booker say, protect yourself at all times. I'm surprised he ain't got it in the chat yet. Salute Al Booker. Okay, the next one, this is another big one. Buster Douglas, 10th round knockout of Iron Mike Tyson. There's Mike on the way down. Now, Mike didn't go to sleep. That wasn't a one-hitter quitter, but yeah, Buster caught him. This was February 11th, 1990. One of the biggest upsets, not just boxing, all of sports. All of sports. This one was. They called this the biggest upset in boxing history. And a good case can be made for the biggest upset in sports history. Okay? Mike Tyson entered this fight as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Buster Douglas entered the fight, a fringe contender who had been knocked out in the only other title fight he had ever been in. Douglas also came into this fight as a 42-1 underdog. 42-1, right? Now, from the start of the fight, Douglas was clearly not intimidated. He was a big and tall heavyweight, and he used a quick jab nearly to perfection to keep Tyson outside. And Buster didn't hesitate to let his hands go, right? Douglas was dropped in the 8th round, but he beat what some thought was a slow count. In the 10th round, he dropped Tyson with an uppercut. And Tyson didn't beat what some thought was a fast count. Some mean Don King. Yeah. Tried to cause some controversy because Don King did not want to see Mike lose that fight. Yeah. Took some money on Buster, Don. William Old School Durant is the only one I ever heard that said they picked Buster to win that fight. Yeah, Old School. Yeah. He said he picked Buster. Yeah, he was 42-1 underdog. And he not only beat Mike, he knocked out. But we never saw that Buster again. See, that Buster would have been a problem in the heavyweight division against Bo, Holyfield, Lewis, Razor Ruddock, all of them from the Andrew Gillard. That Buster Douglas would have been a problem. Couldn't beat any of them. But they say he fought Holyfield next, right? They say he was almost 400 pounds in between the Tyson and Holyfield fight. Yeah, Buster didn't want it. The next one is Deontay Wilder and 7th round knockout over Luis Ortiz. Seventh round knockout over Luis Ortiz. Yeah, there's Wilder and Ortiz right there. Okay. Winding down there. Got a couple more. Okay. This was November 23rd, 2019. Now, Deontay Wilder is a special fighter. Well, was one anyway. He has proven to be one of the greatest knockout artists of all time. Wilder showed that his unbelievable power could knock out Luis Ortiz for the first time in his career. That was the first time Luis Ortiz had ever been stopped in his career. Yeah. Now, the timing of the fight was between fights with Tyson Fury, right? And the Bronze Bomber was looking for a statement before rematching Fury, right? And he definitely got it, firing a big shot to the guard of Ortiz, landing on his forehead. Yeah, he split that opening, man. Yeah. And right on Ortiz's forehead. Now, usually a fighter is dropped from a punch on the nose, jawline, temple, or chin. But Wilder has the kind of power that can fold a fighter up no matter where it lands at, right? Yeah, forehead usually don't do it, but Wilder. Here comes the big one, that monster from Baltimore. Right here. Oh, y'all remember this one. Leo Santa. Gervonta Davis, 6th-round knockout of Leo Santa Cruz. Halloween, October 31st, 2020. That was when they had, I think Tank was actually at 135, then Santa Cruz was at 130, but they had both titles on the line. Remember that? Yeah. 2 different classes. I think that's how that went. Yeah. This was Halloween 2020. Okay. Now, with one of the highest knockout rate among active boxers, Gervonta Davis is only getting better as he steps up the competition, right? He had a vicious knockout a few years ago, Halloween 2020. Tank went up against talented Mexican fighter Leo Santa Cruz. Tank came out smoking, throwing looping power shots in the form of lead hooks and uppercuts. That uppercut was there all night. I knew it was going to get Santa Cruz eventually. It seemed clear early on the fight that it would be an uppercut that would be Santa Cruz's downfall. And in the 6th round, Tank landed a bomb of an uppercut while on the back foot, right? Leo Santa Cruz threw an overhand, like 3 straight overhand rights. Yeah, back to back, right? And Tank first landed that first uppercut on the back foot. After that, he became like a shark with blood in the water. He put nonstop pressure on Santa Cruz, putting him to sleep with another well-timed and accurate uppercut. Yep, that's that one right there. See, Leo already asleep. Ain't even on the way down yet. And he was up against that hard turnbuckle, man. Somebody in his camp should have bought a pillow and a blanket. Because he was smiling too. As he was sleeping, he must have been having a good dream because he was smiling. Remember? Leo was actually smiling. He was laying there. That was crazy. Look at the picture. He's smiling. Mm-hmm. Okay, next, Canelo Alvarez and Amir Khan. We just got a couple more. There's Canelo and Amir Khan right there. But there's Amir. Amir is sleeping. Canelo looked a little concerned. He ain't celebrating yet. It's classy, You lay a man out like that, don't celebrate until they get him up. Yeah. Canelo showed a little bit of class there. A lot of class, Yeah. Okay. Canelo Alvarez 6th-round knockout of Amir Khan, May 7th, 2016. Now, Canelo Alvarez on Amir Khan was definitely bad for Khan. Canelo was on the verge of replacing Floyd Mayweather Jr. as the face of the sport. And he used the Khan fight to make a big statement. Canelo poked and prodded his way to finding the right range against Khan until he was able to land an overhand right that left Khan flat on the canvas, the victim of one of the greatest one-punch knockouts of all time. Now, yeah, that was a one-hitter quitter there. That was a classic one-hitter quitter. Yeah. I don't know how long Amir was out for. Kenny Bayless waving it off. He ain't got to wave that off. Can everybody know that's over? I guess he got to officially wave it off, though, but I mean, Amir wasn't getting up from that. No way, Jose. Okay. Next is Roy Jones and Art Serrano. We just got 3 more. And 327. That's something else. We might get some link time in. But there's Roy and Art Serrano. This was a first round knockout, and it happened on April 3rd, 1992. Now, this wouldn't be a knockout if Roy Jones wasn't involved. With so many great knockouts that showcase his unique style and finishing ability, Roy's fight against Serrano put his skills on full display. At the time of this fight, Roy was still establishing himself as a name in boxing. Now, Jones Jr. has always been a showman, but this fight demonstrated his raw power. He floated around the ring like normal, like he normally does, putting Serrano into a safe sense of security. Then suddenly, Roy let go with a right hand that ended the fight, just out of nowhere. He was just bouncing around like it normally does, then all of a sudden he just sprang out of nowhere and knocked the guy out. Yep. Joe Louis and Max Schmeling. First round, June 22nd, 1938. And guess what? This fight lasted 2 minutes. First round, 2 minutes. But Max Schmeling stayed in the hospital for 2 months. From a 2-minute beating. That's a month per minute. Yeah, seriously. A 2-minute beating, he stayed in the hospital for 2 months. That's not bad. Joe Louis wanted to beat this man because at that point he was Joe Louis's only loss, and Joe Louis had won the title after he lost to Schmeling, and he came into the fighters cabinet. But Joe Louis said, "I'm not going to call myself champion until I get the rematch and beat Schmeling," and did he beat him? A 2-minute fight, the man stayed in the hospital for 2 months. Incredible. Now, really does sports ever supersede world events? But the rematch between Joe Louis and Max Schmeling at Yankee Stadium was viewed as very relevant to World War II. This was June 22nd, 1938. Now, Joe Louis had to push all the political noise to the back of his mind as he attempted to avenge the only loss of his professional career at that point. He even got called to the White House, and the president of the United States told him the entire free world was riding on him winning that fight, right? Louis was on a tear leading into the rematch with 11 straight wins, 9 of them by knockout. Determined to get his get back, Louis landed a brutal right hand in the very first round that sent Yankee Stadium into a frenzy. Now, the knockout was amazing, and not just because of the backstory. It was reported that the punch was so hard and powerful, it led to breaking a vertebrae in Schmeling's spine. Yeah, the man spent 2 months in the hospital from a 2-minute beating. That's incredible, ain't it? Crush the legend. What's up, Crush? In the building. They've been missing Crush, and I've been working in the mornings. You know, they got to stop that. What's the salute, Crush? Good to see you today, bro. We are coming to the end of, what's today? Knockouts. The knockout, yeah. We at number 23. I thought I had 25, but I got 24 now. Yeah. This is number 23. Yeah, this is 23 is Ray Leonard and the Hitman, Thomas Hearns. That 14th round knockout, where Hearns had to fight one. All he had to do was make it to the cards. Now, he lost the fight in the 13th, was when Ray did the damage. Remember, he knocked him through the ropes, but then Hearns made it to his feet, and then the bell rung into the round, but Hearns did not recover in between rounds, and Sugar Ray came off out of that corner like he was shot out of a cannon, trying to get to Hearns in the 14th, and he stopped him. He jumped right back on it because Hearns didn't recover. Now, T. Hill said it shouldn't have been stopped. T. Hill and Hearns. Thomas Hill and Thomas Hearns said it shouldn't have been stopped. You'll get your chance on the link to get me, T. Hill. Yeah, Thomas Hill and Thomas Hearns said the fight shouldn't have been stopped. Okay, so let's talk about it. We only got a couple more. We're going to get some link time after that. This was September 16th, 1981, when this fight happened. Damn, this is long. Now, this fight was a brilliant matchup of two of the greatest fighters of their era, two of the Four Kings, and both members of the legendary Four Kings, right? On top of that, each had one of the major titles of that period. We only had the WBA and WBC. Hearns had the WBA, Leonard had the WBC, right? That was a huge fight. The matchup was called the Showdown, right? After 13 rounds, Hearns had to fight one on the cards. But in round 13, Leonard came through with a big blow that immediately shifted the momentum of the fight and also put Hearns in major trouble. After causing Hearns to stumble through the rope due to multiple flurries of punches, Leonard and Aaron Pryor was the king of flurries. I think Aaron Pryor got the record for the amount of punches thrown in a flurry. Leonard is number 2. Pryor got like 15 punches in one flurry. But anyway, yeah, he put Hearns through the ropes due to multiple flurries. And then Leonard came out in round 14 like he was shot out of a cannon and ended the fight with one final exchange of punches. Yeah, round 14. And finally, the last one is Muhammad Ali and Big George. Big George fought. Yeah, we're going to get like 20, 25 minutes of link time today. It was an 8th round knockout, right? October 30th, 1974. That was the fight when Foreman lost his title. Then 20 years went by and he got it back in 1994. He set that record, the longest time in between one man winning the title, 20 years. You remember the other one? Oldest heavyweight, and then the oldest two people to ever compete in a heavyweight fight. I mean, the biggest age differential, because he was 19 years older than Michael Moorer. Foreman was 45, Moorer was 26, right? Now, Muhammad Ali, taking on powerful George Foreman was one of the most important knockouts in combat sports history. Now, Foreman was blazing his way through the heavyweight division at the time. You know, just dominating, not just beating everybody. I mean, 2-3 rounds, just making them look bad, like taking candy from a baby type thing, man. Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and all of them. George Foreman was just beating them down. And while many boxing experts felt Ali's absence due to the Vietnam War situation that cost him 3 years of his prime was too much to overcome, he would basically be food for Foreman, right? I was in that same camp. I was like begging, don't fight him, Ali. Let him have it. You don't need to be champion no more. You're the greatest already. Let him have it. But, you know, that was not what happened in the ring. Ali used his signature rope-a-dope technique to drain Foreman's gas tank because I think in the last 3 years, Foreman had fought a total of like 8 rounds, right? He hadn't been past the second or third round in like 3 years. 3 years he had fought like 8 rounds, and Ali knew this, right? That's what he said, that rope-a-dope, I'm gonna take him into the late rounds. He ain't used to going there. He hadn't been there in 3 years. He hadn't been past 2 or 3 rounds in 3 years. So Ali used a rope-a-dope on Foreman and drained his gas tank. And then he turned up the output, right? Changing from defensive-minded to offensive-minded, right? And he stopped Foreman by knockout to become 2-time heavyweight world champion. And Foreman said he had so much respect for Ali because he said Ali had him out and he was on the way down, and see, Ali was cocked. He could have hit him one more time, but he said Ali didn't hit him. He just let him go down. And he said he remembered that. That's the last thing he remembered. Ali was cocked to get ready to hit him. He said he was on the way down, and Ali did not throw that punch. He said he had so much respect. That's why he became good friends. He had so much respect for Ali because he said most people would have threw that last punch. Because, you know, a boxer is just programmed, primed to punch. And they don't mean no harm. They just programmed like that, you know. Hurt. But Ali had, you know, he didn't throw that last punch because he knew he had his man. Your Foreman was done. Yeah, there you have it, the knockout. Tomorrow is, we're going to look at some multiple weight class champions, you know. You know, of course, Manny with 8, Oscar second with 6, Sugar Ray, Tommy Hearns. I think Floyd had 5. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of those guys tomorrow, right? And Thursday is boxing in the States, Vermont. And we're gonna find some history in Vermont and some boxers from Vermont. Yep. And Friday is the Magic Man, Antonio Tarver, the life and career of Antonio Tarver, the Magic Man. Friday, yeah. We got a nice profile coming up this week. Got some good views on last week. Really had a really good week on the views last week. I don't know what happened. You know, a lot of people, you know, afterwards, when I get most of my views, you know, when people on the replays, and I was like, damn, I was going back and looking at it, 200 one day. I think that was the show when I did the rounds. Remember we looked at the rounds, the greatest 50 rounds in history. That did pretty good after the show. Yeah. Okay, let's chop it up for a little while now. Okay, we got 20 minutes. Let's chop it up for 20 minutes. Let me see. Invite. Okay, they changed the screen for the link too. You know, I was just getting used to the other one. And then you got to go to like, I don't, but we're gonna get it done. You can't hold me down. Mm-hmm. Okay. Jay, come on this morning. I didn't check because he hadn't been on here. A little situation with the family. Everybody keep Jay and his family in your prayers, you know. He's all right though. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow is I forgot already. Weight classes, multiple champions. Man, it is warm out there today. Damn. I did my walk this morning. I ended up carrying my hoodie in my hand. Damn. Sweating. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Everybody's welcome to come up, hit the link and come on up and chop it up. Okay. Yeah, this was the knockout today. That's what we were doing. Tomorrow, multiple weight class champion. Thursday, boxing in the States. We were supposed to do a little history on Australia. Remember? But I forgot. I'm old. I can't remember nothing. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Okay. There we go. All right, what's up, T Hill? You know what the deal is. Just talking this boxing history. That's all. What's up with you today?
I hadn't been getting much rest, so I've been trying to get a little bit of.
Oh, you still ain't, I know you said you worked hard all through the week. You still ain't getting no rest yesterday, neither?
Went to work and got back late.
Yeah.
Make sure my aunt was okay. We had got her from out of the hospital. She had hysterectomy, so they can clear up some of the cancerous material that was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been tough. She's a person that don't hear very well, and on top of that, got a little bit of developed problems that arise from some health issues. So you got to just constantly be taking care, consideration with her. And it's been up, but you know what? We given another one, so we got to be thankful for it.
That's right.
As you said, man, and prayers go out to Jay Hardcore and his family. Man, I got to get that brother a call because I hadn't talked to him in a minute. I didn't even
Yeah.
know nothing was going on until you said it yesterday at the end of the show.
Yeah, I didn't know it. Yeah, give him a call, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to do that.
Yeah, but what's
Check
up
in on
with boxing stuff, man?
man, boxing stuff. Well, like you said, this week is Conor Benn and
Yeah,
Chris
yes,
Eubanks.
and Eubanks, yeah, that's a grudge match. They really don't like each other. You know, the fathers didn't like each other and carried on down to the sons, you know.
Well, hopefully it do well, man. You know, because it's their brand of boxing, and
Mhm.
oftentimes it doesn't get respected by us over here. One thing I will say, for the most part, our brand of boxing is respected in everywhere. So we gotta likewise do the same for them and their brands.
That's good.
Um,
That's in
um,
London, right? Or-
yeah. Other than the fact that it's historically been some bad blood between their families, I mean, there's also been a lot of mutual respect between the dads and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Mhm.
Your boy Eubanks, he is a special sort, man. You know, he's a highly intelligent dude, and he
Mhm.
talks in a condescending manner, and I think a lot of people, it gets rubbed the wrong way by the way he talks. But I mean, it's just him being him.
Who trains him now? 'Cause I know he don't have he don't have Roy anymore. Remember, he had
Nah,
Roy Jones.
Roy wasn't good for him. He was trying to be Roy, and you
Right.
can't be Roy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the only person that I think could benefit probably from being with Roy would be Boots, because Boots has not to the extent of. I mean,
Some
Roy
of.
was a special athlete, man. He was
Yeah.
really, really special.
You know,
Like I said, the only thing that really did him. Go ahead.
The first person I ever seen like a Roy was an old fighter, Charles Burley. I was watching him fight the other day.
Oh yeah, Burley was something else. But see, he predated Roy. Roy
Before Roy.
truly, truly was like in his image more so than
That's right.
anything. But Burley was special, man. He was really special, man. That's why a lot of people didn't want to get in the ring with him. Roy was the same way, man. I'm gonna say a lot of people remember the things that happened to Roy, but they don't remember what really truly happened. He was knocking everything out. He was decimating everything, man. And then they took a victory away from him because dude had his foot or his hand on the canvas.
I was trying to think of his name earlier. Montel
Griffin.
Right? Yeah, that was him. Damn, it just came to me all of a sudden. Right.
Montel Griffin. And Montel Griffin knew. And the cool part about it is Montel Griffin knew he was getting his tail whooped that whole fight, but he celebrated it like he was the victor. Like he really won the fight.
What happened in the rematch? First round,
Roy first round, it was lights out.
Yeah.
It was lights out. But the stain of being no longer undefeated, it kind of like messed Roy mental state up, bro.
You know,
because they took it from him. Took it from him. It wasn't like somebody took it from him in a ring. It was them.
I know.
And it was like he never was, because after that he started doing some wild stuff. He was taking 2 fights in one night, playing basketball games.
Before the fight.
And then finally, ultimately going all the way up to heavyweight and then coming all the way back down. So that in itself really was the reason why a lot of people say he just didn't have no skills or this. No. It was the fact that he just didn't care about the sport like he did before.
It was mental, right? Yeah.
Because I don't care how good you are, you can't not respect the ring. The ring, like I said, man, case in point, man, I know for a fact, and this isn't to make no excuse, but I know for a fact, there are things outside of boxing that was on attack for Tank.
Yeah.
Tank, being the special fighter that he is, was able to fight the way that he did against Lamont Roach, but Lamont Roach was fighting a Tank that really wasn't focused on the fight. Really didn't even put in that much time to train for the fight. He don't really want the fight. Remember, he said the fight is canceled. This is a young man at 29 that said this too. That said that in spite of making all of these millions and getting all these perks from this fight, that I don't want to do it no more. Something really truly must be on him or after him for him to say something like that. To say like, yo, this bread that just keeps coming in, I don't want no more of this. And because he went in there like that, you know, it was a much more difficult fight than it really had to be for him. And I think that a lot of times, you know, people, they go up in there, man, they go up in there not focused. It usually ends up bad for them. Kaz, you still there? Kaz cut off. So with Roy Jones in that regard, in that respect, man, you know, him not being totally focused and in tune with the sport like he needed to be, man, it allowed for, you know, some people who probably wouldn't have had the best of him get the best of him. And, you know, it allowed for him to, because he just was so superiorly gifted, do things in that ring that, you know, he got away with. And then later on, it caught up with him. You know, unfortunately, it was no longer the same attention to detail. And he said, you know, I wish I would have had some of these people training with me before, because they let me know when I wasn't sharp. And they helped me by doing me in training camps and sparring sessions where, you know, I was like, yo, I'm getting tapped. So if he's doing this, then somebody else can do it to me. And I respect that about Roy, because he makes no excuses, man. He just said, yo, it was some things that I did that probably didn't give me the very best chance I had in that ring. And it was because, you know, I was distracted. I wasn't putting my proper focus in. And those are the things that can get you caught up, because this ring is the bearer of truth, man. And if you ain't being true to the sport, it will definitely expose you in that ring. And that's for every champion. So, Puerto Sol, what's up, man? I wish my guy was up in here. We get you back up in here. I wish I could get you up in there. Hey, but Kaz, where you go, baby boy? Where you go? We need you to bring Puerto Sol back up in here. Did you get a phone call or something, my man? But let's talk about the upcoming fight 2 weeks from now. We got a pretty good card. I think a card right here is going to show a lot of clarity in certain divisions regarding 4 fighters in particular: Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and I would say also Arnold Barboza. I think Devin Haney has a fight that I fully expect him to win. I think that him being able to come in at his weight that he normally walks around with close to will definitely benefit him in the ring. I think also the opportunity to right the ship, so to speak, from what people last seen him perform, the way they saw him perform in the ring. I think that's also something that's heavy on his mind. So I think that he will take stock of this moment and very, very much dedicate himself to prepare for a very tough or very game opponent. But let's make no mistake of it, this isn't the same Ramirez that he was back in the day. So he still got that pop. It's just, will he be able to get that pop off to connect? Devin does do things in the past that would allow for it to happen, but we'll see if it comes up. There you go, man. My man Puerto, he's in the back. He want to come up.
Yeah, I was off, man. The damn Wi-Fi went out on me, but I'm back now. Sorry.
Hello.
What's up? You.
Hey, what up?
Wi-Fi went out on me. Sorry about that.
It's all good. I've been wanting to meet you. I've been watching your show for a cool minute. I just never hopped on.
Okay. Appreciate you.
No worries, man. You're one of the true channels that puts historian on their name. Actually knows a little bit about boxing. It's funny, man. You know, respect. Like you got really good shows.
Okay, I'm glad you stopped by.
Yeah, no worries, man. I like to appreciate the few, very, very few content creators that know boxing.
Oh man, I appreciate it. How long was you in the back? My Wi-Fi,
like for 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi been acting up the last couple. It's just in this one room, man. It went out, but we are back.
It's BVL, man. He's hating.
You think?
I'm just playing around.
Yeah, I know.
So, Puro, what you got, man? What you got on these upcoming events, bro? Talk to us. Tell us what you got.
Well, let me see. Like, I'm not looking like super forward to anyone in particular, but I do like the you know, the thinking out of the box, having the fights in Times Square. You know, I think especially in the American boxing scene, people. It doesn't matter if it's Turkey. It doesn't matter whoever it is. It needs like some new, fresh ideas to get the focus off of influencer boxing and back to like the real pugilists in the sport. You know, so that's something that I think will pique people's interest. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm a Canelo fan, you know that. So looking forward to Canelo fighting in, you know, over there, other than North America.
Cinco de
Sorry.
Mayo.
Yeah, it's going to be not this
coming
weekend,
up,
but
right?
next. I believe so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Is he fighting the same weekend as Ryan and Rolly? Is that called the same weekend? Like William Skull,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's
Okay,
full.
that's
It's
next-
like all the stars of the sport. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's next weekend then. The weekend after.
Yes, sir.
this one. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying about that one in particular, man. I think also, what do you think? What is your take on the fight card that actually is taken in Times Square? Like the people that's going to be taking the ring, man. How you feel about that? And, you know, given the gravity of the situation, and then also given, you know, some of the looks recently by those fighters and things that have been applied to their name.
I mean, I think it's great, especially for, like I was saying, the American boxing scene. The only thing that's missing is Tank. To be honest, I think if Tank was on there, it'd be complete. You know, and it'll make. I think it'll like make some waves. You know, that's what I'm expecting. But you know, could be wrong. But I like it. I like it. You know, and then competitive fights other than Rolly and Ryan. But you know, Rolly does have power.
Yeah.
So you know, you never know.
I got
You know, but I think Ryan's gonna destroy him.
Yeah, he only has a puncher's chance to me.
He'll stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Rolly,
sure.
Yeah, I think in 3. I think in 3. Yeah.
I think it goes a little further than 3, but it could be 3 because Ryan is explosive.
Yeah.
He's also underrated as a boxer, like
Man,
like
severely, bro, severely.
You know? And that's because he's always doing goofy stuff, and it's like wasted talent to an extent.
You know, Porto, I
you know?
agree with what you say, but this is the problem that I have with what you say. It don't matter how goofy a ninja look or act when they on that court, or if they on that diamond, or if they on that field, or if they in that ring, and you see something. I don't care what they show you outside of that bad boy. What you see in that ring is what you get. And like in his fights, bro, I have not seen him at one point in time look like he don't belong in the ring.
But everybody don't look at it like that, T. Hill. Like you do something.
Yeah, they be letting personal.
No matter what happens outside the ring, they look at that stuff, you know.
Yeah, but see,
you know,
if it allows for him not to get in the ring, then that's a problem. But if they're letting him do that, and then they're letting him get in the ring, but when he gets in the case in point, man, Duano, didn't he fight Duano?
Who?
Ryan.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying some people put stuff against you. You know what I mean?
Who's Duano?
Looking for negative stuff.
No, maybe it wasn't Duano. What's the guy that he fought after Tank?
You're talking about Duarte.
Duarte, yeah, Duarte was a tough fight.
Yeah, no, it was. Especially coming off of getting knocked out. Yeah, it was a super tough fight. And
man, this dude was putting mad pressure on him, and he had to adjust. Like that's where I saw the conditioning of training. So you could see DJ being in the corner being a benefit to him, and that's another thing that discredited him. Like DJ has been very beneficial to Ryan, man, getting him to iron out some of the wrinkles, man, and to focus on certain things, and then to make decisions in the fight. Like a lot of fighters he tells, sometimes they don't convey it in the ring, but Ryan has been able to.
That's where I disagree with you, though. I don't think it's DJ. Other than I do think he's a good trainer, a bit overrated, but I haven't seen, to be honest, like DJ, I think only has had Frank Martin, I believe, since he started. So like I couldn't tell you, okay, like, because I don't even know like if like who he studied under, or maybe he just kind of like he was, because I know he's a former boxer and he just teaches what he was taught. But from Ryan, I haven't seen anything that Joe Goosen Yeah, when he was younger, taught him, and Eddie Reynoso taught him when he was with him. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen a new wrinkle. That's just what I see.
You didn't see any adjustments in that Duarte fight? I said Dwayne.
Yeah, but nothing that like he hasn't implemented in the past. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Other than like the shoulder roll that like I think like Floyd was trying to give him like some pointers on, and he kind of put his own spin on it. But it looks very unorthodox and goofy,
Yeah.
some might say. But if it's effective, it doesn't matter. And it's been
Well, I
effective.
know one
And
thing.
it's been effective.
It might not look effective for sure because it
It doesn't have
doesn't
to
look.
look, but it just has to be effective, and it's been effective in the Duarte fight and against Devin Haney. Like literally, Devin and Duarte couldn't go around it.
Well, I think that the thing about Devin Haney, man, he just wasn't in shape. You could tell in that fight he wasn't in shape. I mean,
I think it was in
could
tremendous shape. If you're not in shape, you don't survive those knockdowns, T Hill.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
Devin. I'm talking about Ryan. Ryan wasn't in shape.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant
I think if Ryan would have been in shape, it would have been a massacre, bro. But I said that from before the fight. Before the fight happened, I said what Ryan brings to the table and what Devin actually struggles with, it's not a good mix. It's not a good match for Devin. I mean, the boy is fast. He's extremely fast, and he dips. He just has this bad habit of dipping to the right, which is going straight to the hook.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when he tries to throw his right, he lunges. He lunges. The what's the name? He lunges down. He dips a little bit down, and then he steps with his hand not kind of lowered, so that opens up for the punch to connect, and you got a fast fighter who can hit with amazing impact. It's like it wasn't a good mix. It's just that Ryan didn't train for the fight. I mean, it didn't look like he had any kind of game plan. It was just like, yo, when I see an opening, I'm gonna take it. And when he was fatigued, Devin was able to get his stuff off, but when he wasn't, it was bad. And then there was the 2 points that was taken from Ryan, and then there was the 3 knockdowns that was discounted. But if it would have been a conditioned Ryan, that would have been a bad fight, bro. A really bad fight.
And to be honest, T Hill, like I agree with you halfway, and I don't want to sound like a contrarian.
Oh man, come on, get the contrarian on.
And I told my boy Mark, because I was watching it with him and my other buddy on a live that wasn't live, but on a StreamYard that wasn't like published or whatever. And I thought Ryan actually carried Devin, and I also thought I didn't think he got tired. I think he literally took rounds off to extend the fight. That's just the feeling I got.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could be. You could be right.
Because
but I know.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were finished. Go ahead.
And the last point, and the thing about the hand dipping or whatever, and they're saying that like, oh, how can you? The people have been saying he throws a left hook. Why didn't you like literally? To be honest, I actually thought he got his hand. He did what you're supposed to do, but like you said, and where I agree with you 100%, T Hill, it's the speed. It don't matter. Devin's his reflex is not fast enough to get his hand back in time. Ryan knows this, and Ryan said, "I'm up for those left hooks." You know what I'm
saying? That's a good point.
I hear you.
Rolly not going to be able to get his hands back nowhere near in time. Then.
Yeah, but the Rolly does have one thing in his favor. If he can land a clean punch, it can change the complex of a fight.
Yeah, if he can, but.
That can always alter things, but it's like you said, you got to be able to defend from what's coming. And man, Ryan just had some quick hands, some really quick hands.
The fastest I've seen, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to glaze him up or build him up because he's my favorite fighter or one of my favorite fighters. But since Roy, your hand speed is insane.
Yeah.
Well, man, I just know that it's redemption. That's what they can build it as, to get some respect on one person's name and get some respect back on somebody else's name. But then there's like your boy T.O., man. T.O. been out there acting a fool, man, going on press tours, doing some stuff that just don't make sense, bro. Like I don't know what to make of Tio, if he's taking everything serious or if he's trying to just poke the bear. But, you know, Barbosa is a tough fighter, man. And I think, you know, if he doesn't try to go after Tio, he's going to make it tough for Tio.
They got T.O. though.
I got
Tio too,
I think
but
Tio's gonna. I think Tio's capable, but I just smell the upset. I think Barboza is a real good fighter, and he's got that
Very
chip
good.
on his shoulder. He's got that chip on his shoulder,
Mm.
and like literally, like he's got like I think in the back of his mind, I don't think Tio ducked him, but in the back of his mind, Tio's like, why didn't Top Rank make that fight? Like, you know, like Tio, I think he thinks in his head he can beat anybody. But the
You
thing
think-
is, like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, guys.
You think it'd be up the officer just gonna ask you? You said upset. You think it'll be a decision, or you think Barbosa can stop him?
I think he's capable because, like, obviously, I don't think he's pillow fisted, but like his style, like he's like one of the newer style California fighters where he's like, he's more on the back foot. He's trying to more outpoint you than like trying to like land some knockout shot. But that does not necessarily mean that he got no power. It's like Bruno Sarace, the one that knocked out Munguia. Like Bruno Sarace was undefeated for a reason. Like obviously he didn't have like high competition, but the way he came in with a game plan against Munguia, and like even though he was obviously outmatched, like you could tell like, okay, I'm gonna keep spamming this. I don't know if it was like that 1-2, and like and Munguia like literally he telegraphed it. Like Munguia saw it from a mile away. But then, like literally, like he just tried to look for that opportune moment where, like maybe Munguia had like a mental lapse or whatever, and he like knocked him out. And the thing is like Sarace is a Barbosa type fighter. Only 4 knockouts. That's because he's literally trying to outpoint you. He's like boxing off the back foot. But he knew that he's not going to outbox this dude because of Munguia. He's actually fought a lot of like really good boxers. You know, not like elite counter punchers, but he's fought enough where like Sriracha's not going to be an issue, but Sriracha knew that. So Sriracha is like, okay, I got to land that one shot and hopefully put him down. And he did.
And he did it, yeah.
I mean,
I
when
see
you
that shot
explain
from
it like that,
Barbosa. I see that shot from Barbosa, but decision for me.
when you explain it like that, I mean, of course, there definitely is a chance for a knockout because nobody expected that from Munguia. And like you said, you catch somebody at the right time on the right place, you can definitely short circuit them.
Mm-hmm.
That I still say if he wins the fight, it's going to be decision.
Okay.
I think that's the toughest fight of the card. I believe that's the toughest competition on the card. And I think Tio, if he's over there playing around and he don't respect this dude, especially given how he had made him wait, how he had not wanted to fight him, he brushed him aside, then he slapped him, and now he's doing all this,
right?
all this stuff to just look like you're not showing me no respect.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
If he fights like Porto said, then I believe he definitely will win the fight. But if he tries to come after Tio, that's where it's going to be the problem.
Yeah, facts.
What about Jose and Devin? What y'all think about that one?
I think that's a dangerous fight.
I got Jose. That's just being quick. Go ahead, Tio.
Well, I think that's a dangerous fight for the fact that, it depends on what mindset Devin is in. Like, no matter what he say and no matter what any of his fans say, like that last fight he had, it's still with him. You could tell by the way he talks. He used to talk with so much conviction, no stuttering, no stammering. But now when he talks, you hear him stutter, you see him stammering because, he's got to address this situation. And he's got to address the fact that because of Osterine, he got beat down. Let me say this, man, and I say this with all respect. Mark McGuire was on steroids, bro. Mark McGuire would crush the ball, but he never hit with high batting averages for the duration of his career.
Right.
So no matter how much stuff he took, it only made it effective when it landed. You gotta land punches.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And you're this great defensive fighter, and you were getting punches land upon you. That means there was a flaw going on with you, because you knew what this man had to offer. You said you deemed it C+ level. C+ levels don't tag you like that on a consistent basis unless they're skilled and you have some kind of deficiency avoiding the punch. So like that being the case, my man, he got to remember that, hey, yo, this happened for a reason. It ain't because of Osterring. It ain't because of Nandrolone. It's because, hey, I wasn't good enough to get out that way at that moment. So what do I got to do? Because this dude hits hard too. And if he connects, we don't know how it's going to make him react given the last fight.
Jose,
and that's the only thing I say. I want him to win, though, because I want to see the rematch.
Jose is experienced too, you know, T Hill.
Yeah, I mean, like Jose is
got a lot of experience in that ring too, you know.
He do. And he got a chin on him too.
Yep.
He done dealt with jabs all his life. Man got a lot of fights.
Yeah.
You're going to have to throw something. You're going to have to mix it up. You're going to have to move. You're going to have to go high, low. You're going to have to take his time, and you're going to have to switch speeds. You're going to have to do a lot of stuff.
Right.
Because this dude coming to make a name off of you.
I'm willing to go out on a limb, T Hill, and if you're right that it is still in Devin's head, Devin's going to lose, guaranteed.
Yeah,
this is a fight. This is a fighter that you can't have. You can't be thinking of another fight. You have to devote your entire attention to this guy. You're going to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you know that statement is true for everybody. You ain't never lied.
Seen everything, man. You know, not an experience. You got to be on point for an experienced fighter like that, man. You know, I don't care how.
And that's the same thing for Tio. Tio better be focused in on Barbosa.
Facts.
Because if he's not, boy, it's gonna be a long night in that ring for him.
Yeah, man. Waiting for his shot, bro. Like he literally was waiting for a shot with Jose Ramirez, and he took it and he capitalized.
Mm-hmm.
You did make mention of Tank being on the card. Like, what do you think about Shakur and the things that are going down with him and Turkey and Eddie?
Not much, to be honest. Not much at all. I'll say this: a lot of people are saying that, you know, he left Matchroom and that, you know, Top Rank, he didn't want to like sign an extension, this, that, and the other. I beg to differ. I think he wanted an extension and he wants a multi-fight deal. But I think his last fight that he had with De Los Santos was kind of like the nail in the coffin. That's like the third performance where it's like, we can't sell you. So we'll offer you a one-fight deal, but that's it. And I think that Shakur, through the not fault of his own and through his own fault, bought into his own hype. So now he kind of like overvalues himself. So at the end of the day, like, you know, like I think he's extremely overrated, but obviously a good boxer, former Olympian, I believe, silver medalist, bronze medalist, I forget.
Silver.
You know, it's just like the propaganda machine it's existed forever, but like it's just fighters like Shakur, Ryan, Devin, like Ryan and Devin, like I think they're the truth. Obviously Tank, but it's just like, especially like because like literally, in my humble opinion, the promoters, the fighters, they use us. They use these platforms to confuse the fans, to build narratives they could take in the negotiation table. Because any interviews that they have with anybody, even legitimate journalists that somebody would consider legitimate, or somebody like me, like I don't believe one word they say. Not one word, especially when it comes to negotiations, because these people are not dumb. They're not going to put their actual stuff out there. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not good business. So that being said, yeah, man, I think Shakur's in a tough position where he needs to either go to a different trainer and literally fix the areas that I feel that he needs to improve upon, which is defense, and literally like developing a style that literally will not make him a superstar, but literally like have more than his 3 fans and his parents to come see him fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be cruel, to be honest. Like it's just the fact of the matter, because he calls out everybody. He says everybody's ducking him. But at the end of the day, bro, like that only works so far. Like for Boo Boo, it worked for a long time until eventually it didn't. So does Shakur want to be the next Boo Boo, or does he want to be Shakur? It's up to him.
I hear you on the Boo Boo, man. I'm gonna say one thing about Boo Boo that I thought was a major discredit for him and a disservice to him as well was the fact that he came in that ring 190, bro. You never fought over 165. Why would you throw 30 pounds on top of that?
That's a lot of weight.
Like that's crazy. But I mean 168. Why would you take 30 pounds on top of that? But I'll say this. I mean, I hear what you're saying on that regarding like expectation and then like the marketing of yourself and how you value yourself and the way that you talk. But on that card in particular, who do you believe is more of a name than Shakur Stevenson?
Everybody in the sport.
On that card.
Oh, everybody on the card.
You believe everybody on the card has a bigger name than Shakur Stevenson?
Yes.
Which card are you talking about? Ryan and
I'm
Rolly?
talking about the card he fighting Zepeda on.
Okay, yeah, that one. Ryan and Rolly. What's up, you
I'm not trying to be cruel, like I said. It's just, it is what it is. My bad. Go ahead, brother.
I was just speaking to you. Go ahead.
I mean, Zepeda is going to be, they're going to be on the undercard of a fight with Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? And Shamsa Shiraz. They are not more known than
the grip. So
You
like
said
Berlanga,
what?
literally Berlanga just sold the grip, and it's not like I could say that like Jake Paul, for
Canelo.
example.
So come on, Poro. You know
No,
that
no.
was Canelo.
I don't. I thought it was Canelo too until I saw the Instagrams and all the little social media posts of like people in New York literally having fight parties on the street with Puerto Rican
Oh, for
flags. It
Berlanga?
was,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was insane because I thought that fight was gonna sell like literally 50,000 pay-per-views. I literally thought that, and then literally when the pay-per-view numbers came out, whether you believe it or not, I was like, "What the fuck?" Excuse my language. I thought that was insane, bro.
What was the pay-per-view numbers?
650, something like that.
Oh, well, you know, it's Canelo. I mean, you getting 500 for sure off of Canelo alone.
I mean, that's 650 with Berlanga, bro.
Yeah, that means he brought 150. That means he at least brought 150 to the table.
It took me off guard because I didn't think it was gonna sell not 50,000. I swear to God, to you.
I hear you. I mean, you know, I'll give him credit because it was 650.
That's why I give him credit. I'm just giving him credit for the fans that he brought, and I kind of know why it brought because like literally there hasn't been a big Puerto Rico Mexico fight in a minute, and the Puerto Rican fans were just itching to get something to, you know, get their juices flowing again, you know.
And then, you know, that's the home of Joe Crack. And, you know, Joe Crack is behind your boy Berlanga. So I can see that, man. You know, but still, man, I just don't know if he's a bigger name or a bigger draw than your boy Shakur, man. But we going to find out. We're going to see how well that card does.
Check the numbers. That's all I got to say.
Anyway, we got Define Arnie. What's up, Define Arnie? What you got for us
How you
today?
guys doing?
What up?
Today, bro?
I just pulled up, man.
Oh, you did?
I had no idea what you guys were
earlier.
talking about.
I saw your
Oh, well,
name
you
in
know,
that
just
thing
do not
earlier.
coming on, so you can speak as long as you like to speak, as long as Kaz got for us.
We're gonna go till like 4:30, about 15 more minutes. 4:30.
The Boxtorian, bro. Go ahead, cook.
No, I was, you know, y'all, I'm listening to y'all. I mean, I've been talking for the last 2 hours, man.
All right, I hear you.
No,
So
but what we were talking about Define Irony is like the upcoming fights, you know.
Yeah.
What we can expect to see from the people that's in the front. I mean, you know, you got Canelo, and you know what that is. That's one thing in particular. Then you got the Times Square fight card and the people on it, and the expectations and the you know, things that come along with it. And then there's the also Shakur situation that we were just discussing.
We got the big
you know,
remember T here.
Thank you for saying
Ryan
that.
Rolly and that card. What you got on that one, Define Arnie? The Ryan
Yeah,
Rolly.
what you got?
Oh, you know, I think Ryan is gonna ease through Rolly personally.
Yeah, we
I
all
just
got
think he
that.
has so many attributes for Rolly. Even though I love Rolly, you know, I love his personality and everything, but the Devin is the one that intrigues me the most. And Tio, I just, man, I don't see Barbosa beating Tio, honestly.
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm going too much off of the Jack Catterall performance, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he has the tools to beat the field, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I was picking T.O. too. But Your star had had the upset for Barbosa. You had the decision, right, for Barbosa. Yeah.
You talking to me?
No, your star. You still there?
Who define irony?
Me?
No,
I'm here.
Pearl. Yeah.
Oh,
Pearl.
Puto. Oh, my bad. You talking about Puto? Okay.
Yeah.
You talking to you, Puto?
Just say you had picked Barbosa, right, for the decision.
If I gotta like say who do I think is more likely to upset, to me is Jose Ramirez.
It'd be that one. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It'd be that one.
Inactivity of Devin, and I mean, who knows which Jose Ramirez shows up too? Like that's another.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah.
That's a good point. When's the last time Jose fought?
I have no idea. I just remember his performances in the Josh Taylor fight, and if that guy shows up,
Yeah,
look
it's
out.
been a while. Mm-hmm. Who you picking? Who do you say you was picking in the Devin and Jose Ramirez fight?
I'm gonna go with Ramirez for the upset.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Honestly, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm getting a little how do you say turned off by Shakur, and the reason why is when you look at the landscape, right? You look at Tank has fought Ryan, you know, and Ryan has fought Tank and Devin. Devin has fought Loma and Ryan. You know, Teofimo has fought Loma, and you know, Shakur is the only guy that has fought none of them, bro.
None of them.
And I'm like, hang on a sec.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, man. I mean, all due respect to Edwin De Los Santos, but we all know what happened in that fight. And I'm like, hang on a second. You're the only guy that hasn't fought any of these dudes.
None of them. That's a good point. I didn't ever think about that, but that's so true. At least
Yeah, I mean, and I
other
love
ones-
his skills, bro. Like he's a joy to watch. But hang on a second. I'm like, hang on a second, bro. I mean, we can talk about the hands and how hurt they are and whatever, but at the same time, bro, every single one of these dudes is putting in because they're all around the same age, right? Unless I'm terribly wrong. I mean,
Pretty
outside
much.
of Loma, obviously.
Pretty much, yeah. And they all, and the rest of them at least fought at least one of the other ones. But yeah, you're right. He the only one that haven't fought none of them. That's true. I never thought about that, but that's true.
What's that now? You said who never thought none of them fought none of them?
Shakur,
Shakur, bro.
of
Like,
all
Shakur
those
is the
guys.
only
Well,
guy
I'm gonna say this, bro, and I say this with respect too, because you know I got nothing but respect for Shakur. I don't harbor a lot of
Yeah, me too.
the tropes that a lot of people applied against Shakur. That you know, especially with the way he conveys his ability in his rank amongst fighters.
Mhm.
I know it rubs people the wrong way, man. I think he's a fantastically skilled fighter. I think that he wins because he is more knowledgeable than the other opponent is in the ring. That being the case, they say this. He got your and let me preface it by saying favorite fighter syndrome. It is a disease that affects six fan groups. The Canelo fan group, the Errol Spence fan group, the Bud Crawford fan group, the Tank Davis fan group, the Devin Haney fan group, and the Shakur Stevenson fan group. They will all hate or tell stories about other fighters and for their fighter against the other one. And the bigger the following of another fighter, the more they will apply that it is bad on their end. So like, because Canelo is the biggest, Canelo gets away with the most stuff. Now, granted, Canelo does get away with a lot of stuff, but Canelo did do a lot more than any of these other fighters together. And so, you know, he has, to a certain extent, earned the right to move the way he is, and because he generates the most money. Next on that list would be Tank, especially since Errol has not been able to be Errol in a long time. And a lot of times they will say Tank gets away with a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff happens, and a lot of people on his fan base do and say crazy stuff, but it's no more so than any other fan base. So when we say this because there are people who are now saying that Shakur is making everybody else's favorite fighter run from him. He's beating everybody else's favorite fighter. And I ask you, of the people that he's beaten, who has been people's favorite fighter? Was it Herring? Was it Valdez? Was it Yoshino? Was it De Los Santos? Was it Padley? Like, who is it that he's beating that you know got people upset? I believe he ain't been able to get the fights, and I believe a lot of people don't want to fight him because they don't want to look bad in the ring because he has a style that makes you look bad. I agree with that.
It's a low risk, high reward.
Huh?
Low reward, high risk stuff.
Yeah, it's low reward, high risk. And I mean, that's no fault of his own. But I think that when we as fans apply the fact that, you know, everybody else ain't fighting him or he's beating your favorite fighters, he ain't fought our favorite fighters yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that there's a lot of people rooting for Padley all over the world. I don't think there's a lot of people rooting for Yoshino over the world.
Nah.
Now we want to see him in the ring with these people that are quote unquote favorite fighters. So we want to see him in there with the Devins. We want to see him in there with the TOs. We want to see him in there with the Lomas. We want to see him in there with the Tanks, no doubt. And I think all of these guys gotta see one another. But as I said, I've given up asking for the same energy for same fighters. I know it really only applies to certain fighters.
But my problem, T Hill, and I appreciate what you just said, right? My problem is that when you look around, right? When you look around, I don't know, T, Loma, whatever, you know, Devin, Tank, Ryan, every one of them has at least fought one of the others. You know, Shakur hasn't, bro. I can't just give him a pass. You know, like, you're the only dude that hasn't even fought one of these guys. I'm sorry, bro. That's to me, that's unacceptable.
Hey, bro, it's easy, bro. Just suspend all logic, bro, and it makes it easier, bro.
Yo,
It's okay. Zepeda is going to get rid of the cancer that is. No, cancer's too harsh. Zepeda will get rid of the hype job we know at Shakur.
This is my guy Puro. He very tongue-in-cheek, but he definitely a straight shooter. Now I don't share all of his beliefs, especially when it comes to Shakur. I think Shakur a very good fighter. I just think that, you know, Shakur runs his mouth on Twitter, and I think it translates wrong over the net, and people hold him to that. There's a lot of people. Only person I will give credit right now, I give two fighters credit right now, is Benavidez and Ryan Garcia. You could say whatever you want about Ryan Garcia. Guess who he's fought?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
the Four Kings are Tank Davis, T.O. Lopez, Devin Haney, himself, right?
He got the best resume of all of those.
He has fought Tank Davis.
Benavidez do.
And Benavidez, I'm not going to ever talk bad about him.
I'm talking about the ones that lightweight down. You know.
Yeah. At lightweight, my man has fought Tank Davis.
Yeah.
He has fought Devin Haney. He's on track to fight Devin Haney again.
Duarte Fortuna.
You know what I'm saying? He has fought players.
Yeah.
Luke Campbell.
You know,
don't forget about Luke Campbell. That was a hell of a fight. Also.
That's right. That's another.
You cannot hate on this man.
Yeah.
Sure, you can hold him to some standard that you hold as far as morality with the way he talks and conducts himself. But in the ring.
Well, go ahead, finish. I want to ask you something, though.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, now, like Define Arnie was saying, all these guys have at least one fight against each other. And you were just naming all these names. Ryan Ford. How come Shakur haven't been in the ring with none of them? What's the reason? Do you have, I mean, you know.
But to Shakur's credit, I mean, he's kind of fairly new to the scene with regards to them. He wasn't one of the Four Kings. Now that he's been there, we got to look at, because that's what everybody holds. They hold longevity in the division and who they have fought. So who's been in 35 the longest of all those four we just named?
That's a fair point. Yeah.
I'll say that Devin has been in 135 the longest. Who did he fight? He didn't really fight any special names, did he?
But Loma and Ryan.
But when they say Loma and then they say Ryan, you got to respect Loma, you got to respect Ryan.
Well, he has fought two of them. I can't stand Devin Haney, but he has fought two of them.
Who did he fight, though?
Loma and Ryan.
And Ryan.
Exactly, right? Now, he fought them at 35, correct? He was there the longest, and nobody holds that against him. So that's what I'm saying. Like we pick and choose of who we hold things against. Tank been in 35 all this time, and he ain't fought nobody. So you want to know who he fought at 35?
Mario Barrios and
Well, that wasn't at 35,
No,
but
that was at
but
40. That was 40.
oh,
he did
I'm
fight.
sorry.
He did fight Ryan at 36 because he didn't want to make the weight for some odd reason. So he fought him at a catch weight, but it was originally scheduled at 35.
Yeah. Where was Frank
fought-
Martin? Was that 35?
Frank Martin at 35.
Frank Martin.
Okay.
He fought
Gamboa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gamboa.
Mhm.
So like their resumes are similar. The one who's fought the most people, the most different varying people has been Ryan, and a lot of people hate on Ryan, bro. I don't understand it. Like Ryan is the goods, though. I don't understand why people say he overrated, he's overhyped, and all this other stuff. He delivers in the ring, bro. He gets in the ring, and he gets you up out of there. And if not, he beats you.
And I respect it because he's getting in there with them. He's making the fights. Whereas
I
the
think
others-
that's-
If you're talking about those fighters, you got to, because he has been doing that.
I don't even dislike Shakur. I'm just pointing out something that is really starting to bother me about him, because honestly, I hear what you're saying about him being the new kid on the block, so to speak, or the newest kid of the block on the block. But and I'm not gonna get into the Keyshawn why they're homies. I don't mind that. I actually don't mind that too much. But I'm saying, when are we finally gonna get to see him against Camarón Cepeda, right? So that's a start. Okay, that's a start.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good
but,
thing.
I mean, how many times are we gonna do this thing with Shakur? Is he gonna fight Tank? Is he gonna come on, bro? You gotta have one fight. I don't care who it is against at this point, but you gotta have one fight because everybody else does. You're falling behind, bro. Honestly.
What do you think he hasn't been in there with any of them defined on it? Did you have a reason or?
Man, I hate to use the word ducking, so I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's ready yet, you know?
Okay.
Or something like that.
Shakur?
I mean, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't dislike Shakur. I just don't like this particular fact about it, you know?
Well, he tried to make a fight. He tried to make a fight with Pitbull. Pitbull didn't want to fight.
He fighting Cepeda?
He is fighting Cepeda. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
He
he
fought
is.
Oscar
He
at
is.
130. He fought Oscar.
That's his. If he retires tomorrow, that's going to literally legitimize himself. Like not what people think he is. Like people don't realize that Oscar win was big, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oscar Valdez?
You said Oscar?
win was big.
No,
Yeah.
not really. Not really.
Yeah, no, it was because literally,
That
trust
130.
me, I lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because I got blinded by whatever I got blinded by. But literally, Oscar was that dude in those divisions, bro. Literally,
look at when it happened. It was they both
No,
had
but
titles.
and then in comparison to experience, professional experience against like really good fighters, bro. Literally, I just didn't see a path for Shakur to win, and Shakur beat him easily.
Oscar Valdez. I'm gonna say a couple of things about Valdez, right? First of all, his style is tailor-made for Shakur Stevenson, but not only that, bro. To me, Miguel Berchelt is 100 million times better. He just got caught with God. I mean, that was a bad knockout. But Miguel Berchelt was recovering from I think COVID or some shit like that, and I don't know. I never thought he would challenge Shakur. I was more high for Edwin De Los Santos to challenge Shakur than Oscar Valdez, honestly. I never been so high. Plus he's pop dirty also, so I don't know. I mean, to me, Oscar Valdez is not Oscar Valdez. He has pop dirty before.
Oh, pop dirty. Okay, got you.
Oh, pop dirty. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, but I mean, he got popped something for out of competition. That's why they let him fight. People forget to mention that shit.
Could be. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, that guy. Honestly.
Yeah. But I mean, that's his best win, and literally, I lost money. I ain't trying to hate on him, and literally, I would, hey, man, literally, Brad, I thought I was gonna lose.
You bet against Shakur in that fight?
Of course. Bro, Shakur at the time was what? 17-0 with
So let me ask you this.
Literally, Oscar Valdez has knockouts more than this guy had fights. Like,
But that was Oscar
His
on the
entire
stuff
life.
though. You know he was on the stuff though, Porter.
no,
Yep.
but like literally, he was on a what's it called? Shit.
Yeah, he was on a
Diuretic.
hell of a
He was
tear
on a
when he was on that
diuretic.
stuff.
He was on a diuretic.
A diuretic.
Yeah, he was on a diuretic. Like if he was on, like, say, Ostarine, if he was on the Nandrolone, like the steroids that they say, like you just eloquently
And
put, Thomas,
Buterol,
that literally, like, they don't do nothing to you, but like literally it gets that question mark. But he was on a diuretic.
I don't know, bro. If it's
I thought he was on the
for a reason.
juice.
If
What
it's
happened, brother?
substance is banned, it's for a reason.
What'd you say, Thomas?
would think, you know.
I'm sorry.
I thought he was. We talking Valdez, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Valdez. Yeah.
I thought he was on the juice. I thought he was part of the juice crew.
Nah, it wasn't juice. It was a diuretic. What was it called? I forget. But he was out of competition anyways. Like literally, that's why they allowed him to fight. Like that drug is legal when you're out of competition.
See, that's another thing. They need to clean that stuff up, man. It should never
They
be
do, but-
legal win in and win out. It should
It's a
only.
scam, Thomas. It's a scam. Is what it is.
I hear you.
Okay.
But let me say this though. Let me say this,
Go ahead, bro.
because I'm glad you said that, man. You think regarding Cepeda, you're going against Shakur again?
I'm rooting for Cepeda, but if I had to bet, nah, I wouldn't bet against Shakur.
I know you not. I'm asking Puto. I'm asking Puto. You got Cepeda in that one? You got Cepeda over Shakur?
I got Cepeda just because of the style matchup, but obviously, like I already lost money on Shakur once. Like literally, I'm not gonna put no money. Well, I haven't seen.
No,
the
I
odds
mean
yet.
no
If the
putting
odds are
money on
good,
it, but I'm
I'll
just
put 50
saying
bucks on
your
it.
gut feeling. Your gut feeling. Your gut feeling on that
50-50.
fight.
50-50. Because with Shakur,
Even
like,
given
you
the
don't know what to
matches that you've
expect.
seen
You
against
don't know what to
Lamar.
expect with Shakur. You don't know what to expect with Shakur.
The thing with me with Shakur is how well his handle held up. Hold up for him. I don't know why I say held up. I think that his skill set is tremendous.
Don't matter.
You say what?
Give that guy new hands, bro. It doesn't matter. He can, as they say where I come from, Thomas, no pega una estampilla. He don't.
If he had your boy right there, if he had your boy in your profile pic hands, it'd be a different story.
Well, what'd you say, brother?
I said if he had the hands of your boy in the profile pic, it'd be a different story.
I mean, power ain't everything, bro. Obviously.
No, I'm just saying hands. My man, Big Hat. You seen Big Hat Barroso's hands?
Yeah, Barroso could punch. Hey, fellas, if you guys are on in a little bit, I'll hop back on, but I gotta go pick up my daughter from school. I'll be back.
Hey man, go get drive safely, bro. I know how. Where you at? You in Orange County,
Nice
bro?
to meet you, Define. No, right now I'm in Carson, but I live in San Gabriel Valley.
Oh, Carson? Where she's in school in Carson?
She's in school in yeah, it's Carson. It's considered Carson, yeah.
Oh, for sure, man. Ain't that much.
Because I work around here.
You on the 405?
What happened, brother?
What freeway you got to hit? You ain't got to hit no freeway?
Right now, no freeways. Like literally where I grew up, or one of the houses I grew up, my dad's house, which is my sister's house now, it's like literally, I can walk to her school, but it's like a long walk. So it's like a 3-minute drive.
For sure.
Like a 3-minute drive. It's called Ambler Elementary.
Oh, I know exactly where that's at, man. Be safe, bro.
Well, Thomas, I know you're from Cali.
I grew up in Compton, California, bro. I grew up right down the street from you.
Bompton in the house.
For sure.
Yeah, I grew up in South Central, Carson, and then now I live in La Puente. But I gotta go. I gotta run, man. We'll catch up, Thomas. All right, then, Define. Nice to meet you.
You too. Is Cass here?
You said what?
Is Cass here?
Now, Cass, he been having problems. We gonna why don't you go on and take us out, man?
Hey, man, always a pleasure to speak with you guys.
Oh, wait, before you take us out, my man Gerard Hadi, he said that he believes your boy got the best resume. Tio got the best resume, man. So shout out to Teofimo Lopez. I don't agree with that. Honestly, I don't. I think that Ryan got the best resume. If we're going to talk about all of them, I think that Ryan's resume is slightly better than Tank's. I think that Tank's is better than T.O.'s. I think the T.O. resume that really gives him credit, really, truly, if we're talking about the condition he fought fighters in, is Loma. I'm never going to take Loma away from anybody. Loma is a tough fight for anybody.
Oh yeah.
Period, point blank. But I'm not that big fan of
Oh,
the
he's
Taylor. I
thinking
thought
Josh Taylor probably. He's probably thinking
Taylor,
Josh
but Taylor is ever since that Prograis fight, Taylor has not been the same Taylor.
That is true.
It's a big name. It's a big name. It's a huge name. But he's not the huge performance that he used to give.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. Though I think Taylor truly lost 3 of his last 4 fights.
Oh yeah, he lost twice to Catterall, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. He lost twice to Catterall. I thought he lost to Prograis. And he definitely got slaughtered versus what's and then he just lost not too long ago.
He's gonna fight now. I think he's fighting Salma or something like that.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, because I think that he's far. I think he's overextended his stay at that 40-pound division. I think you need to go up, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah, he had a great performance against Jose Ramirez. Though. I like Josh Taylor, but nah, you're right.
And I want to, because Jarrell also said Keyshawn beat Shakur. Man, what's your thoughts on that, bro? I'm not of that same opinion. Like I said, man, I don't allow my feelings for anybody to tell me what I see in that ring. And what I see in the ring, I'm going to be honest, bro. That last fight by Keyshawn, I saw a knockdown where he hit him where the wrist, you know how you got your pinky finger? He hit him with the wrist part of the glove, and it was a knockdown. You can't deliver unless he actually tried to cut karate chop. And it wasn't a punch that was thrown in a karate chop fashion. You can't generate enough pop on that area of your glove to get a knockdown. Yet it happened.
I mean, so some other things can be factors, maybe Berenchik was like in bad footing, or like some other things can contribute to that, But I mean, Keyshawn versus Shakur, damn. I think Keyshawn.
I was disconnected. Go ahead, Define.
Hey, Cass, great to see you.
There you go, Kaz, man. He's about to wrap it up until I looked at the comment and saw Jarrell been cooking in the chat, so I wanted to give him a little bit of play. He's been saying Keyshawn.
Yeah.
He should be fighting his brothers. Charlos need to be fighting one another. He said they definitely should be fighting. Huh? Puro had to go pick up his daughter. Now, Puro, a good dude, though. That's my guy. He a good dude. He tongue-in-cheek, man. He say a lot of things in, like, candor, and then he'll say some things that's, like, in humor. But he always speak his mind, man. He's a very sharp brother.
Tell him to come back and everything before he left. But, he said he been...
Oh, he know. He definitely coming through. And now that he's been on the panel, he'll probably be cool. He'll probably be quick to click the link, man. He always comes up and he talk. Most times he don't talk because a lot of times he's on panels where a lot of people dominate the conversation, bro. But he got when he do talk, he say a lot. He like Define Iron. When he talk, he say some good stuff.
He say he been checking the replays and stuff. So that's another good person of what to keep as a regular, But I was locked out. But I was saying about the Oscar Valdez and Shakur fight, that when he fought Shakur, wasn't that the fight after he had knocked Burchell out? Wasn't that the next fight?
Yeah, after he got caught with something.
That's what made him Shakur, because he was coming off of Oscar was coming off of a big win going into the Shakur fight, so that made that a pretty big fight at that time. I thought,
It did, man, but at no point in time, bro. Like, come on, Kaz, you know boxing.
Yeah.
Seen that dude fight. You seen one thing Valdez does, he reaches in to try to engage the punch. You can't do that with Keyshawn, because Shakur gonna pick that timing up real quick.
See, I wasn't
talking,
I was
disrupt that.
talking about the fight, because they were both, it was a unification.
No, I know what you're saying.
Everything surrounding the fight. Now the actual fight, it wasn't real competitive and everything, but I'm talking about the lead up and everything made it a big event, for the 130.
To me, it was the reason why your boy Bob didn't want to make that fight. He knew what was the deal.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why he didn't want to make that fight, because he wants those championship belts available to young prospects. So I can teach. Hey, look, I can not teach, but I can promote the fact that I can make you a champion. There are belts here.
That's how he gets.
And if he consolidates the belts, then that means there's only one person that you got to go through. Whereas you got a lot of prospects that will on action. So the more belts you have, you notice that there aren't in his camp, there aren't any unified champions.
No,
they all hold a belt.
By design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all hold the belt. That's why he wants the belt. That's why I say, man, I don't know if they're gonna make the fight to get Keyshawn another belt. Because you know he has, of the belts, he has 2 of those 4 belts.
Yes, he does. He had 3
He
before
had 3,
Shakur
but
left.
he let that one go.
Yeah, when Shakur left. Yeah.
Yeah. And
He's
you
not
know, I
gonna
don't think he,
unify. No, he's not. He's not going to.
and unfortunately, because of Shakur and, you know, his belief in himself and the way he vocally expresses it, he rubs people the wrong way. He done rubbed the Sheik the wrong way. He done rubbed Eddie the wrong way, that snake that he is, and he also done rubbed Bob the wrong way. So, like, I don't know if they're going to make fights for him to get him a piece of their belt. So, you know, and then there's Keyshawn.
Oh,
Keyshawn
man,
has
you
the other.
think he might be like Andrade or something like that,
Like who?
like Boo Boo.
Oh, Boo Boo. That's what Puro was saying. The exact same thing. Remember?
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, but he said that he
You know,
don't believe
like,
that. He also said that he don't believe Andrade was ever that good. He just, you know.
Oh, I disagree with that, bro. Andrade was everything and then some. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, and I think in that fight with Benavidez, he messed up by going in that fight 196.
Yeah.
Like, dog, how
was
you
gonna be a
fighting at
tough
196? You never been over 168
He
your
was
whole
doing pretty
career.
good also. He was doing pretty good at the beginning of the fight, honestly.
Yeah, until he got tired.
Yeah.
But Benavidez.
But Benavidez still was doing stuff in
I don't
between
think he
those
could've been-
rounds where, you know, he was getting closer and closer to, all right, we gonna make it my fight. And eventually it became his fight, and your boy didn't have not enough energy to sustain that. He was already over.
Broke him down eventually by like the 8th, 9th round. He would have had him, I think. Anyway, but you know, but that 190 didn't help. You know that.
At all. It didn't. At all. But you know, like I will say Define is correct in the fact that, you know, his best fighting days were past him at that point in time.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
But that being the case, I mean, we saying for Shakur, I don't think his best fighting days are behind him. I believe he's still that dude.
Yeah,
I know his hands are a problem, but he's been beating people with bad hands for the past 6 fights. I don't think that your boy Zepeda brings anything to the table that will discombobulate him, and you're gonna have to be able to discombobulate him in order for you to take advantage of him.
That's a good name for him, though. You know,
To be
It's
fair,
a very good name.
yeah.
I think it's along the same lines as the Zepeda. Zepeda is along the same lines as the Valdez to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it's a little better.
No,
but
he's better,
He
but
got
I'm
this
saying
talent.
that I don't believe he's on that level that Keyshawn. I mean that Shakur is.
It's a
No,
big
no,
fight.
no.
though.
I agree.
It's a big fight in the 135 division.
I put it to you like this: if he fought Pitbull, I think Pitbull gets him up out of there.
Shakur?
Better. Oh man.
That better.
That would
Nah,
be
he ain't. I don't think Pitbull would beat Shakur.
that would be a good one. Pitbull and Zepeda.
It'll be a good fight, but because I know one thing for certain, your boy's he's gonna try to corner him and get a punch off. He's just not gonna aimlessly follow him.
Yeah.
One thing about Pitbull cuts the ring, and people don't give him credit for that, but he definitely cuts the ring.
Yeah, and Zepeda not nowhere near the boxer Rayo is neither. So yeah,
Not at all.
not nowhere near.
But I believe he'd beat Rayo though. I think he beat Rayo. I think he would struggle with Pitbull. I just think the matchup doesn't match up well for him. And I think that for me, I just think that Shakur is a bad matchup for him. I think he's a bad matchup for Pitbull. I think he's a bad matchup for Rayo. Me personally, I believe that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't have the negative.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something. If it's up to you, let's say that he beats Zepeda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just play a game here. It's up to you, right? Who do you want to see Shakur fight next?
Me?
Hold on, let me go out and come back in because I can barely hear right now.
Let me see.
Say that for. Let me go out and come back in.
I gotta think for a minute. And we're gonna go for like 15 more minutes. Okay.
Okay.
4:46. 5. Okay, let me think though. Takura. I know everybody say Tank, but I ain't gonna say Tank. Because everybody always says Tank. Keyshawn.
Okay.
But that ain't gonna happen. But I would like to see that one. Keyshawn. Or Zepeda too. Zepeda would be one too. I would like to see. He was saying
something. What were you saying before I left out and came back in? You were saying something.
Yeah, no, I was saying that I wanted to ask you guys a question. Like, let's say that Shakur beats Zepeda, right? And let's say that happened, and let's say that it's up to you, okay? Who does Shakur fight next?
If it were up to me, it would be Tank. If it can't be Tank, then I would want it to be Loma. And if it can't be Loma, oh man, Portada.
I said
okay. Honestly, bro, I wouldn't mind seeing him against Ryan.
Ryan, I was thinking that too. I was thinking Ryan. Yeah.
Just think about it. I mean, you're gonna fight the common opponent that you would have with Devin and Tank. That can propel you all the way to the top right there.
That's right.
You can be wrong.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at a Ryan Garcia fight at all.
I was thinking that. Yep. I was thinking that.
At all. I don't know if he wants that fight though.
It'd be dangerous, bro.
Ryan is dangerous for anybody, bro. Yeah. Like he is one guy that I think legitimately would be a danger from anybody at 135 if he can get there, all the way up to 47. Right? He's that dangerous of a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know that's why I say, you know, when these guys are on top of their game, I don't care what you think of this dude. This dude is one of the most talented fighters in the sport right now.
Yeah, I agree.
He don't be in no bad fights neither. He always give a good performance.
Well, if you look at his fights, like he doesn't have bad names.
No.
And I mean, he's dominated all of his opponents. I mean, the toughest fights for him have been Tank, obviously.
But this is
and Duarte. Duarte was a tough opponent. I think Duarte got him to the point where now he's conditioned to deal with pressure fights. Because Duarte was pure pressure. He was all gas, no brakes. He had to adjust in that fight.
And he did too, yeah.
And he did. And to me, I'm sorry, but that was because of the coaching. I agree with a lot of people say, but sometimes he says some stuff I don't agree with. I believe that you could see the coaching in it. I think the coaching you saw in the Devin Haney fight. Now, I don't know if he was carrying him or if he was out of shape. He could have been carrying him, but it looked like he was out of shape to me.
Carrying who, Devin?
Yeah, it looked more like he was out of shape. But one thing he did do was use that little training that they did when they cut to the action right before they came out. When they were still in the other fight before them, and they showed him working on beating the jab with the hook, timing it, and it clicked. And once it clicked, the fight changed. The fight changed, and Dev then had to find something else to do, and he didn't have nothing to fall back on. So it became, well, I'm gonna bang with you.
Never made that adjustment. Nope.
You can't bang with Ryan Garcia.
Not Devin.
The only way you can't bang with Ryan Garcia is if you can take his body. You're going to have to attack his body. That means you're going to be susceptible to that hook. You're going to have to either move it, parry it, or get out the way. But you're going to have to beat it and go to the body. And I don't think he has what it takes to get into that body like that without getting clipped.
That to me showed Tank's brilliance, what you just said.
Oh yeah,
and Tank did drop him on the head, but he realized, I think, listen,
the body. You got to go to the body. He is all in any round. Ryan Garcia is a threat. When did he knock out your boy? What's his name?
Who?
The-
Brian knocked out?
Yeah, he knocked out the one guy that was champion. What was his
Luke
name?
Campbell.
Campbell. Yeah. Wasn't that in round 10?
Yeah, it was late. I don't remember the
Yeah,
exact.
I don't remember the round either, but it was late. It might have
Yo,
been 10.
when you're getting knockouts in like 9 or 10, 11 or 12, that means you carry power late into the fight. That means even when you're fatigued, your hands are still lethal.
He got off the mat for that one too, remember? Campbell had put in there.
Another thing, you taste the combat. Some people get hit and knocked down and they get discombobulated. My man got focused. Like, you can hate on Ryan if you want, man, but it ain't because he's a C+ fighter. That was some bullish.
Nah.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't care how big like, he does some bad stuff. Tio does some bad stuff, but what they do in the ring is separate from what they do outside the ring.
Exactly.
When they're in that ring, you got to govern them by what they do in that ring.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. You know, but a lot of people, well, that's people that want to find something to hate on them for.
Exactly, Cass. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to those two in particular, and I would throw in Devin. Well, maybe it's more because of Bill, but whatever. When it comes to Tio and Ryan, those two, to be fair, they don't do themselves any favor.
I know.
Like, it's almost like they asked to be hated.
You made a good point. Bill don't do his son any favors the way he acts.
Oh, not at all. Same
a lot
as
of
the
Devin
idiot.
hate come from his father, man. You know?
What's the name of the idiot of Schofield? Whatever his name is. Oh my God.
The other guy, Schofield.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. I would just tell my father, man, you just gonna have to be quiet. As far as my career in the ring, you got to
let me tell you, you know, I'm realizing something, and this is a mistake that I made also. I kept saying, you know, it's his father, it's not him. It's his father, it's not him. But hang on a second, this is happening on your watch, and you're the boss here. You're the money man.
That's true.
If you don't fight, there's no money. So you are either allowing this.
Good point.
Or you don't have or you don't have the balls to say, you know what, pops, I can speak for myself, you know.
That's right.
Like,
if you don't go against it, then you co-sign it.
At bare minimum, you're oh man, what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
At bare minimum, you're like going along with it, you know.
If you don't speak against it, that means you for it. That's how people look at it. He's not saying nothing bad against him, so he must be agreeing with him, you know.
Yeah, I'm done giving these guys passes because his dad saying his dad saying it and he's allowing it, bro.
Right.
Like
you're not coming out against it.
Yeah, bro.
So hey, that's attached to you too. That is exactly right. You got to come out forcefully and let it be known. That's dad saying that. That's not me, but none of them doing that. You know, so hey,
such a touchy situation, bro, because you can get all mixed up in emotions and shit, bro. Like I don't know what, man.
And that is your father, so you know that them guys they're in a kind of a rough position, you know.
It's not like you're gonna get rid of him and you're not gonna see him again except for fights and whatever. No, you're gonna see him every day.
Remember Sean Porter and his father? They say they didn't speak for a while after that Bud fight. Remember how he stopped it and everything? I don't know how true it is. But that's what the word was out. They was real. Sean was real upset about that, but he didn't go public with it. That was a good thing, you know.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that. That fight he was still winning.
Yeah,
he was winning the fight. I mean, it wasn't looking like he was unraveling.
Yeah, it was still winnable. They
He
wasn't
was
no bad
overreaching.
knockdowns. He wasn't hurt, you know.
No, it was a flash knockdown. He overreached and he got hit.
Yeah,
got caught off.
He wasn't hurt. So I couldn't believe it when he stopped it. I was like, what? He's stopping it? That was crazy. You know?
Sean Porter, bro, deserves all the respect, and I always like Kenny. I think Kenny has always been like one of those dads, you know, that deserve recognition, you know. Don't overstep. I mean, he'll talk your shit and stuff, but he wouldn't go overboard. And Like some of these fathers, I'm like getting a little bit upset at the fighters. I'm like, bro, you're gonna have to fucking talk at some
I
point.
know. You're right.
Like it's you I want to hear from. It's you that I want to hear from.
Mhm.
Like, not some fucking dude that's never. I'm just gonna leave it there.
You the one we see in the ring. We don't want to hear from Bill. We want to hear from
Exactly.
Devin.
Well, you know what? I'm
Like,
gonna say this about
Mhm.
Bill definitely knows the switch on when to cut off some stuff. Some of these other fighters, they don't have that switch yet. They haven't got that diplomacy yet, where they know, okay, I gotta stop. I can't go beyond this point.
Like Schofield's father.
Man,
went way
Schofield
overboard.
father.
That last situation with Shakur, he went way overboard, man.
Bro, and what about that voice? What the fuck is wrong with that voice?
I don't know.
I can't hear that voice. I swear to you.
Well, you know, I can't say nothing about my man's voice because I know somebody else that talks similar to him, and that dude got a family as well too. He
Right.
just talk like that. But I will say this: you have a voice, and your voice is to promote your son.
Yeah.
And to do
Don't
what's
overdo
best for his career. It's not to do any damage to his career, nor to somebody else's career. And I think they don't toe that line properly.
Right.
He don't do it.
Doing
Yeah,
damage.
Schofield pops don't do it, and Norman's pops don't do it well. And to a degree,
Teofimo's father needs-
Teofimo pops. Yeah. Teofimo's pops neither.
Those are the main three.
But at least Brian Norman, you would expect more about Brian Norman because out of the three of them, if I'm not mistaken, I could be
His
wrong,
father's
but
not that
out of the Tio Senior and Schofield and what's the other one, Bill?
Yeah.
At least Norman, if I'm not mistaken, is the only one that was a fighter. You know?
I don't think
Yeah.
he that bad neither. Norman's father. I don't think he really that bad. Mm-mm.
So you should know better. Like it's even worse if you fought before. Like
Yeah.
different eras and whatever, but you still know the game. Come
You
on.
still know the game. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna get ready to, what else y'all got? We're gonna get ready to shut it down.
I wanted to know what do you guys think about Eubank versus Conor Benn?
Eubank and Ben?
Yeah.
I can't really call that one. You know, I haven't really.
I got Eubanks in the fight. I think he's a naturally bigger fighter, and on top of that, I think he's a much better skill fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But he is coming down in weight.
What is it at?
So, I mean-
what weight is it at?
Mhm.
What weight is it at?
Ain't it at?
Catch weight?
160, right?
It's a catch where I think 160.
So Eubank coming down and Ben going up because Conor, I don't think he ever fought past 147, have he?
I don't think so.
So he's going up 2 classes. Eubank was
Then maybe it's at 54.
was he? Okay. And Eubank
Let's
was
be
at-
honest here. The only reason this fight is even happening is because of their last names.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all.
That's why I don't like either one of them because to me, I mean, at least Eubank has fought for title, but honestly, bro, I just see two dudes living off of their father's name at this point.
Mm,
As,
Yeah, we
as harsh as
talked about that
that
earlier.
may sound, you know,
yeah.
none of them really done anything, bro. What? I don't
Neither
remember.
one of them, really.
Like,
Neither one of them, really.
what? An old Chris Algieri? Seriously? Come on, man.
And Ben
I
has
think-
no kind of resume, Conor Ben.
I think Ben hasn't done anything.
Nothing. He ain't
Your
forcing
boy
nobody.
Eubank has done something.
And old James
He got a
DeGale.
few names. Mm-hmm. What you saying, Define, Artie?
And Eubank beat an old James DeGale, and Conor Ben beat an old Chris Algieri. That's about it.
Yeah. That's true, too.
Didn't he just beat Smith though?
Yeah, Eubank did. He beat Smith
Mhm.
in the rematch. That was his last fight, right?
Oh yeah, he beat Liam
Rematch.
Smith, but it's 1-on-1 against him. He got
Yeah, he
slept.
won, but I mean that's a legit fighter though.
Yeah, he got somebody.
Oh,
He got
that's
a
true.
little
That's
bit
true
more
because-
recognition.
I
than
don't
Ben.
know any legit fighter that your boy Conor Ben done fought with.
You don't
Oh, I
have
take
him.
that back. Dobson.
Yeah.
He did fight Dobson, and that was a fight I thought he lost, to tell you the truth.
No, Eubank has done many more things than Conor Ben. I give it to you without a doubt.
Oh, no,
Eubank
no,
has
I'm
fought-
agreeing with you. I just think that Conor Ben hasn't done anything to me.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think. and then he's been caught with some bad eggs on top of that.
Living off his father's name, like Define Arnie said.
No, Define Irony is right. Both of them are.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
Now their fathers are different stories.
Oh yeah, they was legitimate champions.
Legends.
Put all the
Legends in
big
every
names
sense
in
of
their
the word.
eras. They was both in there with some names. The fathers was. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they were legit fighters. They were legit fighters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Eubank
in
fought
the
everybody from Joe Calzaghe to
Mhm.
Nigel Benn to you
all
name
of
it.
man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back around their time.
Nigel Benn fought Iran Barkley. I mean, you name it, bro. The resume speaks for itself, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they live, you're right. They live it off their father's names. That's all.
No, they truly are. I mean, I'm not gonna die. I'm just saying that of the two, to take them separate. We were just talking about separating
Mm-hmm.
sons from their fathers.
Yeah.
If we separate them from their fathers, the one who's done more in the ring has clearly been
Eubank.
Eubank.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And that's this
And
Saturday, right? Ain't that this
And
Saturday?
one thing I will say about Eubank has his father's way of getting under your skin. He's sharp as a tack, man. He knows how to get people under the skin.
Yeah,
So-
he kept interrupting Eddie Hearn. I don't want to hear you.
Yeah, and it worked too.
Yeah,
it
you
worked.
can see Eddie Hearn was pissed, bro. Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. So Define Irony, man, going to take us up out of here.
Yeah, let's get on out. It's
Hey
5
guys,
o'clock.
it's always a pleasure to speak with you guys.
Always.
I wish I was in earlier, but
Okay.
I mean,
It's all good.
We'll see what happens, bro. We have a long boxing menu to come, and God bless you guys, T Hill and Cass and everybody in the chat. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow. What is it? Eastern time, 2 p.m.
2
p.m.
p.m.
Eastern time.
What time is it in Puerto Rico right now, Define Arnie?
Right now it's 5:03 p.m.
You on the same time I'm on. It's 5:03. I thought you was like an hour, at least an hour. So no, it's the same time zone. You're in the Eastern time zone.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, they right below us. Right below us. The hemisphere don't change.
But you know what? Florida, it's places in Florida that's an hour difference from here, you know? So that's crazy.
some of them don't participate in the change, the time change.
Yeah,
Like
what is it,
Nevada
daylight
doesn't
savings or
Oh, they
whatever?
don't put the clocks up or back?
Yeah, they don't push it up. I don't understand why we do that, to tell you the truth, bro. For the life of me.
I don't know why nobody does it, you know? I never have seen the purpose in that. I don't blame them. You know? Just stay the same. I like it like it is now when it stays light longer in the evening, you know?
And to me, if you're gonna prolong that, then that's what you do. You prolong that.
Right.
So if it starts getting later, darker earlier, then you just push the hour back, and you just keep doing it to keep it to that point where it's always at 8 o'clock it's still light, or at 7 o'clock it's still light.
That's how I would do it. I hate it in the wintertime when it's like 5 o'clock and pitch black outside, man.
Man, tell me about it. It'd be dark as all get up.
4:30.
Dark as all get up. I'm like, man, nah, that's not what it's supposed to be. To me, nighttime don't start really hitting until about after 7 something.
Yeah, at least 7. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get on out, T Hill. You can finish us off today as usual. Fine, Arnie. Appreciate you 1,000%, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, well, we still got my man Puro Sword up in the building. Hey, shout out to him for coming up on the panel and gracing us. Hey, Puro, before you check out, my man, matter of fact, Kaz, there you go right now. You can tell him right now before we go into the.
Oh yeah, Puro, I just want to make sure you come back. I appreciate all the praise from you, and hope to see you again. You're always welcome on the panel, bro, because you get some fire input. Appreciate you 1,000%. That's it, T Hill.
Hey, and like we said, man, want to shout out my main man, Define Irony One. Shout out my main man, Puro Sword, for coming up here and gracing the panel along with me and the Box Story and Cast Sports. Special shout out to the people who were watching but did not leave a comment we always appreciate you. We hope that you would engage in the chat because you know the chat is always live when they're talking about this boxing thing. Also, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share the video, man, because you can't find a channel that's truly devoted to boxing in the context of history. And you find that here with the Box Story and Cash Sports. So shout out to the people who participated in the chat. My man Puto Sur, and he came on the panel. Jarrell Hadi, the nephew. Also had my main man Crush, the Mickey Freaky legend. Define Irony 1. Mike Mazik, the champ. We had Thomas Hill. We had the Boxing Menu podcast plus like, comment and subscribe on his channel. We got my man Professor Bugs, Al Booger. We had Mike Rim. I believe I seen Mike Rim. Is Mike Rim in the house? Yeah, we had Mike Rim. We had also Kenso Love, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. The great brother right there. We had BN Boxing News. Subscribe to my man BN Boxing News. He's a boxing pharmacist. He give you nothing but that prescription, that healthy dose of boxing news. You can only find it there. And you got Mrs. Kaz, the better half, as always. And once again, your man Cash Sports, the Box Story. Tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be entertained with, once again, another great topic in boxing history. You guys enjoy your day. Mosey on over, and whatever you do, be safe, be blessed, and until the next time, this is Cash Sports, the Box Story.